Hello everyone, and welcome to Roll for Puns Danganronpa Session 4. Nick, take it away.
Yay! Sorry, my voice is going to be killing me today. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Danganronpa. Today we're going to be jumping headfirst into Session 4, which means we'd better wear a helmet, or a cap will do. A recap, to be more specific. Let's find out who gets to handle that, shall we? Let me just roll my... Actually, I'm going to clear the chat before I do this. Don't mind any of that. None of that was important. Let's find out who... I'm re-rolling.
Nick.
I know! Allison, recap.
So David went on a wild goose chase.
Literally.
He did indeed.
I
kept calling the goose a duck.
I took the ultimate confidant
Fantasia.
to a race car instead of, the ultimate race car driver.
To be fair, it was also Destruction Derby.
Castanet refused to go with Ian. Ian decided to go explore a creepy basement, I think, with the mad scientist guy.
Not the basement.
Not the basement?
No, I don't want to go back to the basement.
Oh.
Yes, let's go back to the basement.
No.
Sean spent his time trying to convince someone he wasn't a robot.
Right. I was like, wait a second. And it's like, oh, right.
Wait, I don't remember that. What? Who are you convincing you? Oh, I do. Okay, yeah. Never mind. We're good.
Yep.
And drunken fist his way out of things.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I didn't fight back.
And
he just hit the floor.
Denzel refused to be an accomplice to Mono Police murder.
Model rebellion.
Julian, the union-busting erotic novelist.
What a sentence.
I'm laughing because the fight that Bud was in, it was like there were two shots. The one I took, and then him hitting the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah, somehow I did it anyway, so... but still, it's like, robot murder.
Being the ultimate strongman, you don't stand up very well.
Alright, do you remember anything else?
I mean, we were trying to do,
Party.
Yeah, the party. Sorry, I got a panicked text from classmate. Sorry.
Oh, that's fun.
I mean, we were just trying to prepare for the party, and at the end there was a glitch that I think Ian saw and decided not to say anything.
Yep,
I was also going to bed and had a long day.
That's fair. Yep, you guys successfully threw a New Year's party. You guys successfully did that, so you guys learned a couple extra things about some of the characters. That was
fine. It was just
a
like
lot
the
of fun.
Y3K virus or something like that.
Oh.
It's a possibility, yeah. You got friendship bracelets, and only like one or two of you bastards actually gave them away. I think Bud put his around a bottle of alcohol or something.
Yep,
I
sure did.
Remember that.
But yeah, that was mostly it. Ian saw something interesting before he went to bed. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, I need to have a quick little chat with the players before game, because this session's going to be a little different than the others we've had. First...
This one's gonna have murder!
Murder. Speaking of murder, first I'd like to remind you guys of a certain mercy rule that is currently in effect. If any of you are in actual danger of dying, I will let you know by saying your name and telling you that you are in danger. This rule will not be in effect for the whole game, so enjoy it while you have it. With that being said, guess what? All of you will be in danger this session. Not immediately, but you'll know when, as we introduce the first murder motive. And by the way, that's not blood on the background, that's ketchup, I swear. I was eating Burger King. I actually still have my Burger King right here. I don't have any ketchup. It's all over the background.
I mean, you did have your
Hashtag
burger.
not sponsored.
Oh yeah, crap. Sorry. Yeah.
I mean, you did have it, but now it's at my house and I'm eating it.
Oh my god. But yeah, I'll probably still let you know when it happens. It should be fairly obvious when you guys are in danger, but we'll work that out when we get there.
Danger.
That being said, I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I also want to point out that we are starting to near the end of Chapter 1. Chapter 1 ends a tiny bit after the first trial does. A little bit after the first trial.
Makes
If
sense
everything
to
goes
me.
as if everything goes as planned, we'll finish Chapter 1 next session.
Oh,
If everything
Jesus.
goes as planned. If everything goes as planned. I'm
Sounds
not
like we're
sure.
probably gonna get the murder today.
We're speedrunning murder.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure who I'm more afraid of for like this session, me or you guys. We'll find out, I guess.
Have you
But
seen
yeah,
Ian's bag? You should always be afraid of
I've
that.
seen Ian's bag.
When it stuff,
You
when
made
it, wa-
him die. Way to go.
I
when
made
it,
him
when
die
it wants to
earlier.
blow up things.
I made him die earlier because if you remember, he shoved one of the bears inside his
Yep.
backpack, and we were joking around. I was like, yeah, he's gonna be in there all Rambo style, and Ian's gonna pop open his bag, and the bear's gonna be like, I held off this giant chicken with a spoon, but he took Ron Swanson.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
All right. So anyways, with that whole mess out of the way, we are going to get started. And I'm going to take a drink of pop, which is definitely what I need right before I start doing reading.
A drink of
Nick,
soda, sir.
water.
Soda, sir.
Water.
Soda.
Water.
Water sucks. It really, really. No, just kidding. All right. So, you had a late night last night. Everyone did. As the party wound down, idle mono bears began clearing away trash, dismantling decorations, and cleaning up. A few of your classmates/companions may have helped before departing to the throes of sleep. Nobody bothered using the phones, getting more than enough socializing at the party. You all lay in your beds, the room dark yet comforting, the only noise coming from the lone air conditioner mixing with your own breathing. Eventually, sleep finds you. And, once again, as if on cue, the moment the clock strikes 7 a.m., a loud ding echoes through your room. Monokuma's voice is heard just like yesterday morning, as if on a loudspeaker. And I cannot do his voice, but he says, "Good morning, everyone. It is now officially 7 a.m. Time to grab breakfast and get ready for another day of paradise." Ian, you should be afraid, not really. The moment Monokuma's voice fades away, there's a knock at your door. What do you do?
I go and open the door.
Oof.
All right, you open the door. You've
Yes.
sealed your fate. No, just kidding. You open the door and find Juliet holding a massive tray of 3 large cinnamon rolls, immaculately and artistically glazed. They look and smell like they came out of the kitchen of a 5-star restaurant. The tray also has a single fork. Juliet herself looks pristine, dressed in a baker's outfit, not a hair out of place. You also notice she is proudly wearing the bracelet you gave her yesterday. Oddly enough, it looks different, though. Hers is shiny and reflective. Yours, and the one you remember giving her, were more of a bronze color. And she speaks as you open the door. I made these for you. I hope you like them." A soft blush escapes the glitter sprinkled on her cheeks, and she holds the tray out to you.
I take it from her and say, "Thank you so much."
"Are you going to eat them now? It's just that I wanted to watch you eat them. Sorry, that sounds creepy. I wanted to see how you liked them is all."
Very creepy.
Sure, come on in. We could eat them in here.
All right, she'll venture into your room and she'll sit down, and I assume you begin eating.
Yes.
As you eat, Ian, Juliet's eyes seem to widen and fixate on you, as if you are the only thing she sees. Those hollow, black eyes, a place where light seems to go to die. A genuine smile carves itself onto her face. She seems to take great interest in attempting to gauge how well you like the sweets she made. And DM can't speak no more. Game over. She observes every bite you take, sort of with great interest.
I am enjoying the shit out of these cinnamon rolls.
All right, they would taste amazing. That's basically all she wanted. If you offer her a bite, keep in mind there's one fork. She will accept. But other than that, after you finish eating, her plan is to basically take her leave.
Okay.
So there wasn't anything you wanted to talk about or anything? You just eating cinnamon rolls?
Well, I would make small talk and ask if there was anything she wanted to talk about, I guess.
Nope, she just wants to watch you eat.
I will maintain eye contact and continue eating.
All right.
Maintaining
NPCs are
hard eye
creepy as
contact.
fucking hell.
And this is getting
All right.
hot.
So Ian's over there eating cinnamon rolls and having the longest staring contest in the history of mankind.
Get it.
Bud, we'll switch over to you. You are woken
Oh,
up by a
boy.
loud ding and Monokuma's announcement. Strangely enough, if you were expecting a knock at your door from Marionette, you'll actually be disappointed. What do you do?
I actually figured she'd probably be going over to talk to somebody else today anyway. So I'll take a shower, throw on my clothes, and head out for a walk.
All right. How long would it take you to get ready, I guess?
I'll have a hangover, so half an hour.
That is a fair point. All right, so you get ready. Let's see. As soon as you open your door, however, eventually when you get to that point, you notice a short-statured figure standing immediately outside it. You vaguely recognize this as one of the Monopolice. A badge pinned on the bear's chest reads Officer Rush, and her robotic voice addresses you as soon as you open the door. Good morning, occupant Bud Bailey. I'm currently investigating multiple disappearances and was hoping I could ask you a few questions in private.
Sure.
Thank you for complying. And she sort of pushes you back as she walks into your room. I would like to inquire as to any relevant information you may possess concerning the disappearances of Officer Armstrong and Officer Sheriff.
Do I remember either of these?
You would remember... I mean, I guess that's kind of an up to you question.
I know where Armstrong is. I don't know anything about. I just don't know if Bud would remember. Let's see.
Obviously, Armstrong was the one that you and Marionette sort of engaged last session.
Yeah, I know. I get under a 5, I'll remember. If I get under a 5, I won't remember. Let's see.
Oh, close.
I think Armstrong. Yeah, that name sounds familiar.
She sort of whips out like a notepad and a pencil and waits for you to continue.
I think he was at the beach. Hold on. Wait. And I'll start patting around my pants and pull out a key card and hand it to her.
All right, she'll take the key card. I already know he was at the beach. Do you have any other information? When was the last time you saw him?
At the beach.
She sort of lowers the paper and the pencil for a moment. This is such a high priority that I am self-authorizing the release of classified information. You and the others aren't supposed to know this, however. The Monopolice were designed with an entertainment factor in mind. One of our main purposes is to chase you and your friends, to give you all an adversary. We can't actually harm you, though we can pretend and act like we will. No paradise can exist without some form of confrontation, after all. Think of us as playmates so your days don't get boring. Which brings me to my next question, actually. Have you and your friends been receiving any monocoins lately?
What's a monocoin?
She sort of taps her chin with the pencil she's holding. Strange. You and the others are supposed to be obtaining those based on the amount of fun you have per day, and the coins we don't confiscate through our antics goes towards extravagant prizes. You said the last time you saw Officer Armstrong was at the beach. What was he doing?
He was trying to punch me, and then he took a nap.
He was probably acting like he passed out. He should have left and regrouped with the rest of us, but he didn't. I guess, for the sake of being thorough, would you happen to have any information on Officer Sheriff's fuck, DM's breaking down. Disappearance.
No, there was just the balloon guy.
Balloon guy.
Yeah, he got really big all of a sudden.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, well, for the sake of being even more thorough, although much less of a priority, our lead construction bear has disappeared. His assistant is currently filling in for him. This case is, however, a much lower priority, but if you do have any information that you would think would be relevant, I'd be willing to hear it.
I hope he's not looking for a shovel. I don't know what the difference between them is.
The lead construction bear, the last time we, knew where he was showing up to fix something here, and we haven't heard from him since.
I haven't broken anything.
Alright, I see. Well, thank you for your cooperation, I suppose. The Monopolice's main objective is to secure the safety of its living inhabitants, and thus, the disappearances of both my comrades is deeply troubling. Enjoy the rest of your day. I need to hunt down one of your other companions next. And she will sort of give you a little bit of a head nod and go to leave. And I'm assuming you just let her leave?
I don't have any reason to make her stay.
I don't know, man. You could be in love with her. No, just kidding. Probably not, no. If you wanted to ask any questions. All right, I'm assuming she leaves then. Just like if you wanted to ask her any questions is basically what I was wondering.
Bud, no.
All right. And moving on over as we scroll down the list, David. Monokuma's announcement stirs you awake. What's your plan currently?
I was going to give Grace a phone call.
Okay. You ring. A couple minutes go by. You hear her pick up. She gives sort of a hello.
Hey there, Grace. It's David.
Oh, this is good timing. What's up? I actually wanted to talk to you, but what's up first, I guess?
Oh, perfect. Well, do you want to meet real quick? We can both chat?
Sure. Come over to my room, actually.
Sure thing. Then I'll hang up, get ready, and head on over.
All right. As you exit your room and go towards where the hallway either goes straight or tees to go back down to the banquet hall and the other rooms, you'll see Grace leaning her back against the wall near the entrance to her room, her bandaged foot propped up and flat against it. She seems to be dressed... Oh no, my voice is dying.
Water,
She seems
water,
to be...
quick, water.
No, I need more pop. I need more pop. 1 second.
Soda.
Soda.
Ah, yes, that's good pop.
Soda.
Bubbly water, or whatever the other people call it.
Bubblers. We call it the bubbler.
Anyways, Grace is leaning her back against the wall near the entrance to her room, her bandaged foot propped up and flat against it. She seems to be dressed in street clothes, including a plain black hoodie that does little to cage her beautiful golden hair. With 2 delicate hands, she holds a half-eaten toasted bagel up to her mouth before taking another bite. Upon noticing you, she gives you a wave and continues eating.
I wave back and walk on over.
As you close the distance, you'll notice she smells like a mixture of bleach and laundry detergent. Even though that's normal for her, today seems to be a bit more overpowering.
I'm not gonna mention anything. As I get closer, how's your foot?
Oh, more or less okay. It's from all the ballet practice.
That's good. I was hoping that you didn't injure it during yesterday's nonsense.
No, when you start ballet, if you're serious about it, you have to start really young, and it does things to you. But I was actually wondering if you would, maybe want to help me clean my room today? I've got a decent start, but it's nowhere near what I would like it to be. Tell you what, if you help me, I'll think about showing you some ballet moves. Deal?
May not hurt to know something at least for DMing? Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Why
the
not?
next time a goose attacks you, you can whip out some sick ballet moves and really get the drop on it.
Sure, and we can chat while doing so.
Speaking of which, was there something you wanted?
Yeah, so I don't know if Monokuma did this for everyone, but he gave me a friendship bracelet to hand out to people, and I wanted you to have it.
She'll begin sort of checking her pockets just absentmindedly. No, that bastard didn't give me anything. But thank you though, I'll take it. And let me actually open her character sheet and drop that in.
Yeah,
You guys will eventually find out what those do, but
I figured.
probably not today.
Yeah, I had to sit on it because, as being a DM, I should not play favorites, but I have felt a friendship forming with you, so I figured you were the best person to give it to.
I won't tell the goose, I swear.
Fair. I'm pretty sure the goose is cooked at this point, though.
That is definitely a possibility. I think I remember eating some of it last night.
Yeah, this night was a bit wild. But anyway, why don't we get started on cleaning? Now, as I walk in, how dirty is it?
Strangely enough, it's probably the most clean room you've ever seen in your life. It's pretty apparent, or at least it will be within a few minutes, that she is an absolute clean freak. To the point where it looks like she's been polishing her bed frame. And everything, all the clothes, all the bedding is piled up into baskets. It looks like she's literally been doing all of the laundry possible that she could even find, and it's all been neatly folded and sorted, put into respective piles. Any furniture has been pretty much polished to a shine, even the air conditioner up above. The walls look like they've been cleaned by hand. The floor looks like it's been cleaned by hand, etc., etc.
Got it.
I'm a little embarrassed for you to see my room like this, but hopefully it looks better later once we're done.
Sure. Gonna take a couple of mental notes. Never in my room. And I will tell her, all right, where do you want me to start? And follow her directions to the T. Because it's already spotless in my eyes.
Why don't we start on the ceiling again? She says the word again absent-mindedly, and I'm assuming you'll just be spending time doing that for a while.
I want to know how she is cleaning the ceiling.
So the first thing she'll do is she will take her bed frame, sort of tip it over to the side, because it's like a metal bed frame, and she'll stand on it, and she'll clean the ceiling with sort of bleach and a rag, and she'll hand scrub it. And as she needs to move up and down the ceiling or back and forth, she'll move the bed frame. However, upon doing this, she then realizes that the bed frame is dirty and begins scrubbing the bed frame again.
It's a back and forth concept.
Yeah, basically the entirety of this is that way. It's a back and forth. Nothing's ever truly clean in her eyes, but
I'm just getting a headache just thinking about it.
As she cleans part of the ceiling, I say, hold on, I might have an idea. And I'm going to go find a Monokuma that is part of the custodial staff. And I'm looking for some heavy-duty bleach, a ladder, and then something I could attach to a small pole for a cleaning utensil.
If I wasn't so sure what game I was DMing, I'd swear to God you were planning a murder. But okay. So you run downstairs. Eventually, you run into a very grumpy cleaner bear who's sort of cleaning by the counter. He's like, oh, I freaking hate my job as he's scrubbing and mopping the ground.
You're
joined a union
robotic.
yesterday, and I joined a union yesterday, and then the union got dissolved, and
a hot mess.
Right. And I list off the things. Can I borrow some stuff? I need to do some cleaning.
Yeah, sure, kid. There's a supply closet. Follow me. I'll get it for you. And
Wonderful.
he takes you back behind the counter that you quite often see Monimia behind when you guys walk in on the first floor. It's like the reception counter. Behind there is a little closet, and he opens it up, and it's full of everything you'd need for cleaning: mops, dustpans, brooms, bleach, literally everything, dusters, etc., etc.
And is there cleaned tarp?
You're sure you're not planning a murder?
Yes, I'm sure.
Because if we need to talk one-on-one, mano-y-mano, let me know.
No.
Mm-mm.
You know what? I want to see where this goes. I don't know why there'd be a tarp in there, but there is now. So yeah,
All
you
right,
find a
but
tarp.
is it clean?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So
It won't be after this.
I grab everything. I head back to her room.
As you leave, the bear's you're cleaning, right? I'm obligated to ask because I don't want to become an accessory to anything.
Yes, cleaning. There's a clean freak that needs things clean, and I'm trying to help. But thank you
Okay.
for your help. So
Yeah, no problem. I didn't see anything.
I head up, back to her room. I take the clean tarp, lay it on the ground, put the ladder on top of it, and then I use the cleaning stuff to start cleaning the ceiling, making sure anything that drips on the tarp and not her carpet.
And the body goes where?
There's no body.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to do less work cleaning.
I mean,
her
there's
room.
nobody. You and her are both in that room.
Look, if you pass Monokuma while carrying that stuff up to her room, he's gonna give you a thumbs up.
But no, I am just trying to clean as efficiently as possible without making additional
Yeah, no,
messes.
I get it. Gotta make sure there's no blood anywhere.
She was trying to clean and making her own messes with her own feet.
Mm-mm.
She will very much approve of your idea.
Think smarter, not harder.
She will very much approve of your idea.
There we go. And
As blood
that's
drips.
what I spend my morning doing, I guess.
All
See,
right.
I'm a DM. I'm resourceful.
Oh God. All right, Allison. The
I'm
announcement
scared.
stirs you awake. Also, if I'm not mistaken, you still have Fantasia sunglasses. Are you wearing those while you sleep? Are those on your nightstand? What are your
They're
plans
on
for
my
today?
nightstand, I guess, since I didn't realize I still had them.
All right, what are your plans for the day?
One will grab the sunglasses, but I'm gonna go look for Crash. Give him a friendship bracelet.
Okay, so you just pretty much get ready and exit?
Yeah.
Okay. As you begin to head towards the direction of the banquet hall, you'll actually find Fantasia, Howitzer, and Crash standing huddled together near the stairwell and elevator entrances. Crash seems to loudly mention that he found a small gambling tent and is hell-bent on making more money to pay off the tickets he has. However one does that, perhaps handing the money and tickets to Monokuma. Fantasia, however, seems to be trying to talk him out of it, despite Howitzer attempting to egg him on, and here's how this conversation plays out. Look, just hear me out. I'll do one bet, and then if I lose, that's it. And Howitzer sort of chimes in, all right, put it all on the line. And Fantasia responds, you are attempting to give yourself a gateway to engage in your self-destructive and ruinous habits. It's still an addiction if you win, and it will still have a toll on the people that care about you. Howitzer puts his hand on Crash's shoulder and begins speaking mano-y-mano. Brother, I don't think you're taking this far enough. That's why, after you win big, we're gonna play strip poker. Fantasia looks to you for help.
I walk over reluctantly.
And
places down
Howitzer
chips.
sees you and he goes, a fourth for our game.
Oh, I thought you wanted Ian to join you.
Ah, there's always room for more. Fantasia, you can practically see her crying.
I hand Fantasia her sunglasses.
Thank you. I really wish these were a little darker. I really don't want to watch this train wreck.
Honestly, you're not wrong. This is definitely going to be a train wreck.
Help me talk them out of it.
Crash, why do you feel like you need to go gambling to make money? Like, we found a way to get money before.
What way was that?
Wasn't it helping at the shop? Technically?
There was that one-time big race you guys did, but, if you remember right, there's another one next month.
There's another race next month.
Yeah, that's a long ways away. I need the money now. Look, I'm just saying I don't want to walk down a dark alleyway and suddenly have 3 police bears whooping my ass, okay?
How much do you still owe?
I think I need 150 more. I have 200 in fines, and I think you gave me 50. So, gambling sounds like a, if I just take
Alright,
these
hear me
50
out.
coins.
What happens if you lose money?
It's fine, it wasn't my money to begin with.
I'm regretting giving you the money.
Mm.
I was gonna give you this friendship bracelet, but I don't feel appreciated anymore.
I'm sorry. I'm just, being in debt, it's kind of been stressing me out a little bit.
I can tell.
I'll, be your friend if you pay me.
I'm gonna also hand the friendship bracelet over to Fantasia.
I'll be your friend if you pay me.
You're handing the bracelet over to Fantasia.
Mm-hmm.
All right, take one of those out of your inventory, and I'll add this to hers. 1 second. He looks wounded as you do that. After all we've been through, I let you win a race, and this is how I get repaid.
I had to win a race to try and help you get some money, and you're just throwing it away.
I'm not actually mad, but this is not helping my urge to gamble.
You're not wrong. What is Howitzer doing?
Standing next to Crash, sort of listening and trying not to laugh. He then realizes he has a pack of sparklers in his pocket, and he takes one and lights it.
Okay, Crash, let's try a different approach here.
And investing?
In what?
A gambling tent? Sorry, no more gambling. No more gambling. Sorry, I am open to ideas. I'm listening. My mind is open. I am ready. I'm willing. I will accept anything you say.
Let's go ask if there's a way we can earn more coins.
Okay, but I'm not taking my clothes off for anything less than 100. So I just want to put that out there. If anybody has any standards, I'm either going to be above or below them. I don't know. I guess I'll find out when the time comes. But yeah, nothing less than 100. And yeah, that's all I got. Why are you all looking at me like that?
I don't know what to say right now. Howitzer wanted you to take your clothes off for free, first of all.
Howitzer is incredibly distracted by the sparkleries waving around. As the hiss noise of the sparkler and the actual sparks fly off, he seems to swing his arms to and fro, and almost leaving your guys' little huddle as he sort of walks back and forth, trying to make lines in the air.
Do we want to go get breakfast before you decide to go gamble your life away?
Yeah, I'm down for that. One last meal. That sounds good. At least it'll be free anyways. And I'm assuming you guys start heading downstairs for breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had made up my mind, and then you said that. I hate you.
Glad to see I can change people's minds at the last second. All right, Julian, as we move further down our list, you are stirred awake by Monokuma's announcement. What do you do?
I wake up groggy, tired, and I would say before I do anything, I go get cleaned up, shower, brush your teeth, all that stuff. Yeah, we have bathrooms, right?
Yep, you guys have a personal bathroom in each of your rooms.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get cleaned up for the day.
Okay. So you're taking a shower and heading out?
Yes.
All right, a little while goes by. You step out of the shower, you get dressed, or at least I hope you do.
Yeah,
A few
I hope I do too.
a few minutes go by after that, and eventually you hear a knock on your door.
Well, as anything, I don't think I suspect anything, so I just walk over there. I'm dressed, of course, and go answer it.
As you open it, you see a small bear. Dressed in gothic attire. I hope it gave you a heart attack. You recognize her as Monokuma's daughter. Her horrible voice cuts deep into your ears as she says, "I've come for your soul, mortal, and your books."
You are so adorable. You love my books?
Yes, the devil deals in bargains and whispers, and I've heard whispers that you'd like to exhibit your smut in my store.
Well, I do love to spread my work as far as possible to any bookstore on
I'll
any
make
shelf.
I'll make copies of whichever books you'd like, as well as let you set the price. I will be taking half of the profits, however. I hope this deal is to your liking.
It's now better than Barnes and Nobles and how much they took. Not sponsored.
She gives you a confused side head tilt.
I go run to my collection, look what I have, and I come back.
All right, you look in your collection of every time I read, because I wrote like an actual talent description for all of you, but anytime I read yours in particular, it makes me laugh so hard. I don't know if I actually read this out loud, but I'm going to read yours just because it's so funny.
Go ahead.
Let's see. So, ultimate erotic novelist, you write the sauciest of books. Each page an irresistible step across the line of decency. Each paragraph a violation of the moral fabric of society. Your unapologetic smut was meant to be read with the lights off.
Yes.
We need these books for poker night.
Every time I read that, it's like a knee slapper. I'm laughing.
I love it. I love the description. When I first read that, I was like, I approve.
So you go over to your exotic collection.
Yes.
All right. What books do you have of the like 2 I've written in your inventory? I need to do more of those.
Let's see. What was
Or are you just giving her everything?
I forgot what the book titles were. Where did you put them in? Notes or bond?
In the description, if you click the red bubble, it'll pop up with the description. So you have Star Maiden, The Push and Pull of Gravity's Dogma, and you have my personal favorite, A Rogue's Tale, The Big Sack.
I want that one.
Just the one or both? Are you just doing one?
Yeah, I'll put them both on there, and then I'll have something else. Put 2 of my works.
All right, you drop both of the books into her waiting arms. For some messed up reason, they're still steaming as they drop into her arms.
That shit's hot.
Exactly. And so I will make copies of these immediately. But what were you thinking of as far as pricing goes?
Are we only allowed Monoku money in this, or?
That is the currency. However, if you'd like to think of something perhaps for trade. For example, if you wanted me to set the price as 3 chicken nuggets, I could.
I don't think I want chicken nuggets, but thank you though. Well, I'll do them all. Let's see. I don't want to be too pricey because I want people to read it, but then I don't want to be too cheap.
Yeah, you can't have it too easy. I know exactly what you mean.
What do you normally run your books around at in the store?
I'll be honest, I don't normally sell books.
What do you sell?
That's a good question. How about you take a trip down to the shop sometime?
You know what? How about I take it? How about we do it today? I like to see where I would like my books to be set up. Somewhere in a window view, eye popping, if you don't mind.
Oh, I'll give you a tour of hell. I mean my shop, sorry.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time I went to hell. Just like that other
Oh.
bookstore I went to. Ugh, there was clutter everywhere. Books all on the floor.
I'll take you to the back room.
That's not the first time I heard that either. All right, let's go.
Breathe in the closed air, and then no one will find you. Sorry, sometimes I say things without thinking them. Yeah, we'll do a tour. I'll see you there when you get the time. And she'll take your books.
Her voice would scare me, but her little gothic guitar is so adorable. Reminds me of one book I wore.
I will reach deep into you and pull your soul out of your ass.
That sounds like an idea I could write for my next book.
Oh, god damn it. She's like, no, I've given him inspiration.
You already see me writing.
Jesus Christ.
I always have a pen and pad on me at all times.
Oh god, no, what have I done?
Everything.
Okay. So, with that, I'm assuming unless there's anything else you wanted to talk to her about, she will take both of your books and she'll leave.
That'll be it, and I would love a tour of her place whenever she gets around to it.
Okay. She would just tell you to stop by whenever and she'll give you a tour.
Alright, I'm gonna go get breakfast then. Oh, all
Okay,
this talk
so-
about sales and my books make me hungry.
With all of that concluded, you head downstairs.
Yes.
Okay, so with all of that concluded, everybody's basically heading downstairs. Well, David, you said you're helping Grace.
Yep.
But those of you that are heading downstairs are heading downstairs. I think only one of you makes it. God, that voice is actually a little bit killer. I need some more pop. Give me 1 second here.
Soda.
Soda. Agua.
Milk.
Nick, we are gonna fight.
All right, so as most of you begin heading downstairs, except for the couple of you that aren't, something disastrous happens. Perhaps some of you make it all the way down. Perhaps, Allison. Perhaps Julian. But tragedy strikes. I'll actually let each of you decide where you are exactly when this happens and what you're doing. However, suddenly, everything goes black, and your whole world seems to lurch violently. Chair, tables, bodies, all thrown against one another, and everything begins to slowly tilt. If any of you are near Castanet, you'll notice that she screams the loudest. You have a sinking feeling, and that's not just a metaphor. Ian, where are you when this happens, and how do you react? Are you
I'm
near
eating-
anybody? What's going on?
I'm eating a cinnamon bun while being watched.
Those cinnamon buns are probably all over your wall right now.
Oh no.
So you would still be in your room with Juliet?
Yes.
All right, so here's what happens to you. You fly towards the wall, you smack the wall, and Juliet flies and somehow lands on top of you and sort of gives as she hits you, because you know how she is. You're half sure that it was probably on purpose, but she can't control gravity, so like whatever. But yeah, both of you fly into the wall. You have a sinking feeling. Everything's sinking. The lights go off. I'm gonna let you decide how the rest of that plays out, but definitely not a fun time. David, same question. So I'm assuming you're probably with Grace.
Yep. Cleaning.
Well, there's going to be cleaning solutions all over. Bleach is everywhere. I guess since you're probably in a more dangerous position, how about rolling me a D100? Because it would be really bad if bleach got into anybody's eyes. And,
Didn't he get extra
was about to
strength
say,
bleach too?
which-
Like,
Yeah.
Which one of you is on the ladder?
That would have been me.
Well-
Though I think at this point, because time would have passed, the ceiling would have been the first thing I would have done, so I wouldn't be on the ladder. Probably cleaning probably the walls at this point I'd be cleaning.
Yeah.
I do want to make note that if there is any reaction time, I would have tried to grab onto Grace and protect her from falling.
You could roll for it if you wanted. If you want to roll separately for that, you can roll for that first.
Just because if I would have noticed any lurching, I would have tried to grab hold of her because she seems kind of fragile. So let's see.
You definitely try.
I definitely try. I made the attempt. All right, and then here's for all the nonsense. There you go.
All right, you definitely dodged the bleach. Is there any way in particular you want to do that, or does it just miss you completely?
If I wasn't able to grab her, I would just immediately cover my face with my hands.
Okay. You do that. Doesn't look like doesn't look like Grace is so lucky. She gets doused in a lot of bleach. She does manage to close her eyes, and her eyes are gonna sting, but she's not gonna be permanently blinded. She's probably gonna have to wash her eyes out, but it could have been worse if that was about 3 lower. She might have been in big trouble. But for the most part, in quotation marks, you two come out unscathed. More you so than her, but you know how that goes. Bud, where are you when this happens, and what goes on?
About how long would this be after the police bear left?
Hard to say. Probably about 30 minutes, perhaps.
I'd be actively cooking eggs in the kitchen.
I see. Well, those eggs are all over the ceiling. I suppose since you're in the kitchen, why don't you go ahead and roll me a D100? There's a lot of knives and pots and pans in the kitchen, so I'd hate for anything to happen to you. Okay, yeah, you're fine. As you're in the kitchen, you'll notice, since you are down there, you'll notice you're pretty much by yourself at the moment. Not even Marionette's down there. You still haven't seen her yet. But yeah, same thing happens. Everything goes dark. Whole place begins lurching and sinking. Things fly everywhere. It's a big mess. Allison, same question.
I feel like we'd all just be like at the door to like get the dining hall or wherever that is when it happened.
Okay, so either just coming out of the elevator or just coming from the stairwell?
Yeah.
All right, all of you are plastered against the floor. There's some screaming. You hear a lot of destruction in the banquet hall in particular because there's the big heavy table and all the chairs, and there's usually a massive amount of food on the banquet hall table by this time, which you can only surmise is now all over the ceiling or the floor, one of the two. And Julian, same question to you. I've killed him. He's dead. I've succeeded.
Denzel.
Damn my mic. Okay. I'm trying to think. Where? What? So I don't know. Would I already be down there? I'll be walking in the halls.
That's up to you. You could definitely, because all you've really done is you had a small conversation with Phoebe. You
And I
could
just-
definitely be in the banquet hall if you wanted to be.
All right. Yeah, because I think I probably like after the. I don't even know how far our rooms are from the banquet hall. So
Not too far. It's just down a floor.
okay, I think there'd be enough space, but I'd probably be like, whatever that shook with lights going out and me shook, that probably would fall on the ground somewhere.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a D100 since you're in the banquet hall. There's a lot of chairs, a big heavy table, some glasses, a lot of food.
Oh.
So we'll see how messed up poor Julian gets.
All right. D100.
Yep.
I think I hit this.
Also, I'm always just looking for an excuse to make you guys roll.
That and ooh, wait, dice gods.
Yeah, you're fine. Maybe
Yay.
you know what? You're so fine, in fact, that even though there's probably like 3 metric fuck tons of food on this table, none of it splatters your clothes. You come out looking pristine somehow.
Oh, thank God.
I don't know how, but maybe you do.
Yeah, I wasn't close enough to the table. I'm just at the entrance of the hall.
Oh, you would definitely hear Allison Howitzer and Fantasia. Fantasia doesn't really scream. She just gives a sort of really cool grunt noises because she's too cool to scream. But Howitzer
scream.
definitely will be screaming. Allison will be screaming.
Crash would probably be screaming.
Yeah, Crash would be. Crash should probably be screaming the loudest, honestly.
That's my crash.
All right, so a few minutes go by, the last 90 seconds of which perhaps are a deadpanned silence, broken only by the sound of groaning, pressurized metal mixed with panicked breathing. And for Allison, the popping of Fantasia's bubbles as she's always chewing bubblegum. Eventually, the lights come back on, and everything seems to slowly but eventually right itself. A few moments after everything returns back to normal, a loud ding is overheard, followed by Monokuma's voice. Panic! Panic! Everybody to the dining hall now! And a few moments after that announcement, specifically for Julian, you will see Monokuma appear. All right, and with that, by the way, if you remember what I said at the beginning of this session, it is now that, as of now, you are all officially in danger. Just to give you guys an idea of how serious this situation is, it's theoretically possible, but highly, highly improbable for this to be the last session. You'll understand why in a bit when we get there, and by there, I mean the first motive. So you're all heading down to the dining hall, I assume?
Almost.
Almost?
Yeah, seeing as Grace
Just got splattered with the high-powered...
screaming from pain in her eyes, I'm gonna panic for a moment. Think, David. Think, DM. First aid. Did you swallow any of it?
You'll say, no, I don't swallow. Fuck, I didn't mean that. Fuck, I did. Fuck, my eyes.
Oh my god.
Okay, so it's in your eyes. Water. I will quickly take her to the bathroom and try and help her get splash water in her eyes to try and clean out the chemicals so that it's not burning as much.
At this point, she's pretty much screaming for you to turn the shower on.
I will do that.
She'll stand under the shower, her clothes getting wet, which is not fun for anybody, but she'll hold her face up towards the water. I think that is helping. Okay. And that's probably where she's going to be for a while, as the not a lot of high-powered bleach got into her eyes, but you really don't need a lot for it to be an unpleasant experience. So,
while she's doing that, because I don't want to leave her alone, I'll try and clean up what I can until she's ready to move back down to.
All right, well, just, as DM to player in a Danganronpa campaign, I just want you to know if anything goes wrong, you have a tarp. You have a tarp. Just roll her up like a fucking burrito. Throw her out the window. Nobody will know. Especially after what just happened. You'll be good. First murder accomplished. But you're hanging back, I assume.
Yeah, I don't want to leave her behind.
All right. Eventually she'll start reaching for like a washcloth or a towel to sort of rub her eyes out as well.
I'll hand her one when I see that.
Probably about 15 minutes goes by and she'll tell you that she's feeling better. While that happens, we will scroll down really quick to the rest of you. Is there anybody else that's not immediately going to the dining hall?
Yes.
Oh no, what are you doing, Ian?
Well, first
it's you I'm worried about.
Calm your tits. It's not that bad.
No, my tits remain uncalm.
Hey, de-stress your breast. Anywho. I will first check to make sure that Juliet is okay.
Yeah, she's fine.
And then
To be honest, you took most of that because you hit the wall and then she hit you. So
Yes.
yeah, she's fine.
And then as I'm doing that, I will have the terrified realization of, wait, what happened to the cat I gave you?
The room goes silent. Oh no. Wait, no,
Wait.
it's fine. They always land on their feet. But we can check my room first real quick if you'd like.
Yes.
All right, you check the room. Her room has been destroyed. You do find the cat. It looks uninjured, though terrified.
I pick it up and try calming it down.
Okay. It will shake as you hold it, but that's about it.
Okay.
All right.
I start heading down.
You put him down?
No, I carry it and start heading to the dining hall.
Oh, heading down. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So you're carrying the cat, which this DM will not attempt to remember the name of because you have like 50.
Sparkle Paws.
Sparkle Paws. That's right. Sparkle Paws. So you begin heading down after a few minutes. Was there anything anybody else wanted to do real quick before heading over?
Turn off the stove.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Look at my eggs disappointingly, grab a single slice of bread and start eating it with the lemon I got from Ian in session 1.
Oh my god.
As
That
I head
is-
my way down.
That is hilarious. Well, you're in the kitchen, so all you have to do is walk through a door.
Basically, yep.
Oh god, that's funny. That lemon came in handy. Was there anything you want to do, Allison? You're right next to the banquet hall, so I would assume not. But unless you wanted to run back up somewhere, or anything.
Other than like a brief check on the people with me to make sure no one got hurt, I'd probably go right in.
Everybody seems fine.
Oh, can I do one other thing?
I'm assuming everyone's panicked.
Yeah, everybody's panicked. What did you want to do?
I want to check inside my backpack to make sure all my glass shit is unbroken.
Oh yeah, I would assume you of all people would know how to pack that shit
Okay.
to where it's
All
like
right,
indestructible.
Cool.
No, your stuff's fine. It's a pretty decent backpack. It's made to keep the things inside it safe. So,
Fine, check.
I'd assume you'd pack it to the point where it can't move around too much. So, and you know, I'm sure you've got some high quality, very strong bottles. Yeah, can't have that cheap shit in here. So, Julian, you're already in the banquet hall. Was there anything you wanted to do? Or are you just waiting for everybody else?
Is it just me alone?
By the time you get down there, yeah, probably everybody else is busy doing something else. There might have been a straggler or two you probably would have seen.
Because I basically just look around and be like, where is everybody? And just, like, I guess wait.
You probably would have seen Magnus down there. Probably Robin also would have been with you guys, but that's basically it for right now.
Okay.
So you're just waiting for everybody then?
Yeah, I'm just looking around, seeing if anyone's out here, and I'm trying to look for where Harshman at too, but I don't see where he's at.
He'd be coming in pretty soon, but not quite there yet.
Okay.
All right, so as you all eventually find your ways to the dining hall, which is an absolute ruin, by the way. Food is everywhere except where it should be. The same goes for the table itself. Plates and glasses are broken. The seating situation looks like a game of musical chairs got violent. Monokuma seems to be running back and forth, screaming the word panic until he sees that more people are beginning to congregate, in which case he will resume composure and wait patiently for stragglers. The last people to get there probably would be David and Grace by the sounds of it. In the meantime, he will have everybody, or ask everybody, to right the table and set the chairs as best as possible, and will help in doing so. But keep in mind, the floor is like more plastered than Bud on the weekend. So like, there's food, plates, glass everywhere right now on the floor. So, but yeah, he will have everybody set the chairs and the table as best as they can. Eventually, David, you and Grace would probably, trying to think, as you know, as a DM, I never would have thought like, how bad is a little bleach in eye? One of the things that I'd have to like think of. But no, she eventually she washes her eyes out. Her eyes are still red She would change real quick, but then she would head down with you. But you two would probably be about the last ones there. I assume there's not anything else you'd want to do?
No, and as a fellow DM that has had to think of this, don't ask.
I'm scared.
Generally, as long as you get water into the eyes,
Yeah.
like, within real close and do it for like 15-20 minutes, you're generally fine.
That shit
That's
hurts in
what
no
I-
time,
It's
though.
gonna sting a
Yeah.
bit still, but it's not gonna cause any long-lasting damage.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't positive. I was like,
Yeah.
that's just like the normal thing, right? Water directly in the eyes for 15 minutes and you're good, but
Yeah.
I wasn't positive, so.
Mhm.
Things you never thought you'd need to know while DMing.
Oh no,
Mhm.
that
You still
much...
should be going to a doctor though, because it can cause damage very
Oh,
quickly.
yes, not that we have a doctor right away that we can deal with.
We don't have a Dr. Bear?
I can't even imagine that there's not a medical staff here.
I mean, we have a police
Well, there
staff.
probably is, but panic.
Do you
Yeah.
really want to trust whatever doctor you find in this place?
I never said anything about trusting.
That's fair, that's fair.
Just give me a band-aid and call it a day.
Trust me, I am best.
For your eyes,
Well, not for the eyes, but just for any boo-boos.
That's called an eye patch, Allison.
you know,
Oh my god.
Not
you're
wrong.
not wrong. I'll give you that one.
Okay. Moving on, eventually.
Imagining a band-aid over my eye.
Reminds me, I got my blood drawn and I was still laughing at the My Little Pony band-aid they gave me.
It was so adorable. Did you get a
But
lollipop
anyways,
too?
no, I wish, but no.
Damn.
Oh, shit. My bad.
What are you doing?
That was an
I
accident. I was moving my mouse.
see. All right.
No, not
So
putting
all of
that
you.
on Grace's eyes.
Oh
No,
god.
that was an accident.
All right. So all of you make it down to the dining hall. The dining hall gets more or less put back together as much as it can be. Once everyone is seated, Monokuma will clear his throat and begin speaking. First things first. Is anyone injured? And
Nick.
I'm okay.
yeah, what's up?
Is everyone here?
Yeah, everyone's here, including
Okay.
Marionette.
Okay.
But as Monokuma asks if anyone's injured, Grace will kind of raise her hand and just say, hey, took some bleach to the eye. Besides that, people say a few bruises and a panic attack or two, but otherwise good.
My eggs.
Your eggs were indeed a casualty. All right, Monokuma will continue talking. That terrifying event we just experienced was, the temporary loss of all Habidome systems due to a power overdraw. The Habidome fixed the problem itself by engaging one of its auxiliary batteries. The Habidome has 4 large batteries that rotate power duty, so to speak. But that switch normally happens once every 50 years, but that was different. Something is rapidly consuming power. So much so that it was too much for one battery. Now for the really bad news. The source of the overdraw seems to be exponentially increasing its power usage over time. And it seems to be coming from one of the sleeper pods. The only one still active. And Monokuma will go quiet for a moment just in case anybody has any questions or anything.
Wait, so one of the pods that we didn't open is sucking up power.
The
Yeah,
only
there's still
pod
one
with the
person
person
sleeping
in
in
it.
the pod. Remember, they didn't wake up early like we did. They're still
Right.
sleeping.
So should we go wake him up so we could conserve energy and we don't all
We weren't
die
able
here?
to.
That's kind of the problem. And it gets worse. We can keep feeding that pod for 24 hours without suffering any permanent damage. I can't guarantee anything after that. The only way to survive is to decouple that pod from the power system.
Will that harm the person in there?
It's full of liquid.
Yeah, it'll kill them.
There has to be something we can do to get that person out of there.
Agnes?
Sort of a little bit of silence hushes over. Allison, you call Magnus's name. And immediately, he sort of breaks the silence that was setting in. So, is there a button we can press to just launch the bitch out the airlock, or
Never mind.
Never mind, indeed.
And that immediately elicits an explosive reaction from Grace. Grace slams her fists on the table in a rage, tears welling up. You're not entirely sure if it's from the bleach. Her cheeks are flushed. Fuck you, Magnus. There's a person in there. Robin speaks up. A person who's going to get the rest of us killed.
I mean, she's not wrong in a sense, but there has to be a safer way to get this person out and still all of us survive.
So there's absolutely no way we can just pop open the pod and wake them early. Like, throughout this entire thing that was designed, there was no way to wake anyone up early.
Monokuma will, one second, I'm answering a message here. Okay, DM stuff done. Your question was, there's no other way to wake someone up early?
Yeah.
Monokuma will respond, no. To be honest, I'm not really sure how the rest of you did so. Those pods, they run on something called logic strings. It's much like a, well, any computer, I suppose. Logic strings, logic arguments, they're very rigid. They were explicitly designed to wake up at a certain time. And those pods in particular, they're extremely, how do I phrase this? Overcomplicated, I suppose, to where one small thing can cause the entire foundation to crumble, if that makes any sense. But no, waking someone up early, especially if you don't do it the right way, that's not good for them.
Sounds like it was made stupidly.
Well, cryosleep is a very complicated thing, unfortunately. There might be a way, but I certainly wouldn't know it. And Grace will speak up. Magnus, since you seem to be the smartest one of us here, or at least your mouth is, why don't you try literally anything? And Magnus will sort of speak back. You're acting like I built the damn pod. Unless it has some kind of instruction manual, I can't help you or her. And Monokuma pipes up. Actually, it does. I'll have to grab it along with a cord. You'll have to plug some kind of computer into the pod. Your monopad should work just fine. I'll also make sure that the construction stops and the curfew is lifted, so all students are free to travel through the South District, out of the entrance and to the sleeper pods, even at nighttime. But, you'll have to figure out why your pod won't open and see what you can do, but, worst case scenario, I just want to prepare all of you. You might have a tough decision to make.
Well, I think that tough decision should be made when we are out of options.
And we should all have a vote to it.
Absolutely.
Marionette looks specifically towards you, David, and you can tell she gives you an approving look. And she'll speak up. Most of you are acting like children. He's exactly right. We have a time limit and an objective. I'm not really seeing the issue here. That pod has to shut down in 24 hours. The girl will die either way at that point. Until then, we just try to get her out before that happens.
I would nod in agreement with that statement.
And Marionette will smile slightly, looking at Magnus. Well, there you go. Looks like everything's set. And Grace will pipe up. No, not everything. I'm not taking the chance of Magnus pushing the wrong button on purpose, or she looks over to Ian and Howitzer. Someone blowing up the pod. There's 15 of us. Magnus will be busy the entire time, so that's 14. 12 of us, in pairs of 2, will take turns watching over both Magnus and the pod in 4-hour increments. This way, we make sure absolutely nothing happens. It will be literally impossible for anything to happen until the time is up. Marionette at least responds. It seems fine with me, I suppose, though I have a concern or two. First, what about the extra 2 of us? And secondly, if we do that, we should be paired with someone we don't normally socialize with. So, as an example, instead of being paired up with Bud, I should be paired up with Robin or Castanet. And, with that whole thing out of the way, just to sort of simplify and hasten this, if you guys all get the plan that they're proposing, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
Yes.
Seems reasonable to me.
Yep.
It's reasonable.
Okay. So you all agree to have 12. The 12 of you keep watch in pairs of two people watching for 4 hours. Grace will suggest everyone draw straws because there's going to be 2 of you left out. Monokuma will gather up enough straws and cut them to various lengths and hold them. Those who get the 2 shortest can sit out and not have to do watch duty. And we will simulate this by rolling D100s, actually. Whoever rolls the lowest gets the 2 shortest straws. So, we'll go alphabetically. So go ahead and Allison, roll a D100. You get a 60. Actually, I need to do one thing real quick because I actually wrote a note and I need to make it public. It is down here. Let me just make this public. And can I actually share this? Sharing, share record. Boom. That should have popped up. All right, so we'll go through the drawing straws to figure the 2 odd people out, and then we'll get to the rest of it. But there's that, so everybody can look at it and type in it in a minute. So Allison, you rolled a 60, Bud, it's your turn. Go ahead, roll a D100.
Would I be able to volunteer just to be able to do
Yeah.
watch, since I'm the biggest guy here? I feel like it wouldn't be fair for me to sit out.
Yep, you can volunteer.
Okay.
As you do, in fact, you'll notice that people's perception of you as far as the group-wise seems to improve quite a bit with you taking charge and volunteering. You are viewed as more reliable as this happens. So moving on. Oh my god, why'd I do that? I clicked out of my screen. I had the character selection pulled up so I could see like who's in order, and I was like, nah, I don't need that. Wait, who's next? Castanet will draw next. Oh, she's really not happy about that. Okay. Crash will draw next. I should probably be writing these down. No, it's fine. Crash gets a 32. I'm actually going to type this in the Castanet 90. Crash 32 in there. There we go. Who's next? David, you're next to go ahead and roll a D100. Well,
Oh
David,
my god.
you've drawn a pretty short straw. You feel yeah, you may have a chance at not getting stuck in watch duty.
Perfect, because that actually goes with what I was hoping that would happen. I have plans.
All right, well, we'll see if that holds. Fantasia's going to draw next. Yep, not going good. Grace will go next. I am totally going to forget who these all belong to, and that's fine. I've already resigned myself to it. Harshman will go next.
Who is after Fantasia?
Grace.
Who was... Yeah, Grace was after Fantasia. Harshman got a 57. Howitzer will go next. I'm not going to remember these. I'm hoping I just have to remember the low ones, and that's good. So David's got one of them for sure. Howitzer is not doing too bad. Ian, it's your turn. Oh, thank you. Thank God.
Oh.
Well, I was excited for a second, but Julian, you're next.
I hope somebody else gets lower than a 32 because we have a 32 tie up there.
32.
Oh, we do, don't we?
They'll
Crash.
just roll
and
again. That's
Howitzer.
not a big deal.
Yeah, that's what I was planning.
Where did Oh no. Oh, wait, wrong one. I got a 52.
You did. Juliet is next. She draws the longest fucking straw. And as she draws the longest straw, and we'll go to Magnus.
Wait, why is Magnus drawing if he's going to be the one working on the thing?
Duh. Sorry, that was Marionette. Yeah, Magnus is going to be there the whole time. My bad. As soon as Juliet makes that noise, Marionette draws a straw that's even longer than Juliet's. And we'll go to Robin. Robin with a 35. So, David, you are definitely out of watch duty if you want. As for who will be accompanying you, what is it? A tie between Howitzer and Crash.
So you should just roll a D100. If it's under 50, it's one. If it's over 50, it's the other.
Or they just roll again, and whoever gets the lowest.
Yeah, that's Crash's. And this will be Howitzer's.
David, you
That's
watch
not
that,
good.
man.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
Oh, Nick,
Yeah.
I have a thing I have to send you real quick as a question.
All right, that's fine. 1 second here. I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for how this is going to turn out.
Okay.
Okay, so with the drawing done, it looks like Howitzer and David are the lucky ones. And let me see here. So just to make this sort of go faster, I'm going to tell you who the NPCs would like to be paired up with. But it will be up to you guys in particular to decide how you want to do things. So, starting off with the people that have a preference, Juliet will ask to be paired up with Julian. She wants to ask him something about his books. Grace will ask to be paired up with Ian to prevent him from destroying anything, but says she wouldn't mind being paired up with anyone else if she has to be. Marionette will ask to be paired up with Robin or Castanet. She doesn't really have a third choice. It was going to be David, but David has gotten out of watch duty. Howitzer would have asked to be paired up with Ian, but he's kind of free at the moment. Fantasia is adamant that she either accompany Castanet or that Castanet not go. None of the other characters will have that strong of an opinion. So with all of that in mind, I will let you guys debate amongst yourself as to how this plays out, as far as how you want the watches to go and who gets paired up with who.
Fantasia can be paired up with Castanet. That's who she wanted, right?
Yeah. You guys can write in the time slots. I divided the time slots, so there's your 24 hours divided by, every 4 hours. So you can put them down whenever time you want them to sort of take over.
Can I write in there? I don't think I can write in there.
Should.
Nope,
It's
it's
public.
locked.
It's unlock. Can you guys unlock it yourselves or no?
No.
It's a
That's weird.
DM note. It's read only, so we can't. You have to write into it.
All right. Well, I guess tell me the times you want and I'll write them down.
I feel like Fantasia and Castanet could do the 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Give Castanet a minute to breathe.
Okay. Is everybody else in agreement with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I can do. I could do 8 to 12 a.m.
So you are volunteering for 8 to 12.
Yeah.
So the very first watch then.
Yeah.
No, he said 8 to 12 a.m., so he's doing 8 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Oh, yeah, 8
Oh.
p.m. to 12.
Sorry, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m.
Yeah.
Okay. And who's going with Julian?
Who?
Wasn't
Juliet
it?
said she wanted to, but it's up to you guys.
Okay, then Juliet can go with Julian.
Yeah.
Yeah. If no one wants to, I'll go with Juliet. The J's got it.
Nick,
All
can
right.
you change those dashes to little dots? They're just gonna drive me nuts.
You're killing me. Dot.
No!
do
I
you mean?
forget what's it called!
The
Ellipses.
slash.
Comma?
Ellipses?
That's what it was. I had
Those!
colons?
That!
That doesn't even look right.
No, just one!
Your character's dying first. This is
Nicholas!
unacceptable. This is unacceptable. All right, once. God. Fuck. There. There we go. Got it. We're good.
You're so bad.
We're good. Okay, who's next?
I'd like to be on the 4 p.m. shift, but I don't care who I'm paired up with.
You just want it to be 5 o'clock when you're doing your.
No, it's just that the other 3 slots that I would be willing to take are taken.
That's
and
fair.
Bud does not want to be up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's fair, actually. All right, so who's going with Bud?
I don't really have a preference on who I go with.
Most people would probably say that you are not allowed to go with Marionette because of the point that was brought up already.
No, she didn't. She said she was gonna go with Robin. So I figured.
Who said they wanted to be with Bud?
Nobody in particular.
That's why I said I didn't
And
care who I went with. I'll go with whoever's left over.
Yeah, nobody said they particularly wanted to go
So
with
figure
me
out the
either.
other.
So if
12
Marionette
to
wants
4
to...
was
What was that, Sean?
12 to 4 was supposed to be Fantasia and
Castanet.
No, I thought no.
Oh, okay.
12 p.m. to 4 p.m. because
Okay,
that way
I thought we were
Castanet
talking
has
about
time to
12
breathe.
a.m. to okay.
Um.
Oh well, in that case, Bud will go on the 12 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Okay, so let me just take a moment to freaking put colons after each and every one of these.
See, no, I thought they said that Castanet and Fantasia were 12 to 4 a.m.
No, p.m.
Which was a slot I originally wanted, and then I saw names in the other two.
Okay, so you want nighttime, 12 a.m. to 4 a.m.?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so I'll put you down there.
I also don't care where I go, so let's figure out where other...
Yeah, who?
So
Marionette and
Robin?
Marionette and Robin were together. What
I feel
shift would
like
they want?
they would appreciate the first shift, like 8 a.m. to 12 p.m.
That could be. So you want Marionette and Robin?
Yeah.
I would recommend Grace take either a later one or the 4 to 8 and have time to see a doctor before she has her shift.
Okay, that's a good suggestion.
Who did Grace want to go with?
Me, because she doesn't trust me.
Yeah, she said Ian to keep an eye on him, but otherwise she doesn't care.
I don't see why. Howard's is the one that blew shit up.
Yeah, so if you would have mentioned that, she'd say Howitzer's only dangerous when someone gives him an explosive.
I'm not giving him any more.
So, anyway, what shift do you want to do with Gracie?
It doesn't matter.
Well, you've got 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. or 4 a.m. to 8 a.m.
She will prefer the 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. probably.
Right.
If Ian agrees.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so who's left?
Who's left?
Crash, which I can't be paired with.
Which means Crash has to go with Bud then.
Yep.
Not necessarily. Who's the other one?
Yeah, who do we have left? Crash, Harshman, and...
Because
Me
in
and
theory,
Allison.
David, Sean and I could take the same slot. We don't all have to pair them. Did you just start writing my name?
Yeah, sorry, I spaced out, and I was like, well, Sean and I, or Bud and I can take the same slot, so I started like reflexively typing it out.
Well, Allison's gonna
Do you want to
die.
go with Harshman or do you want to go with me, Allison?
You know what? I'll hang out with Sean. Why not?
Alright. Bud, Allison, Harshman, Crash.
All right. Now that whole mess is over with and it's not hurting my eyes. All right, is everything... Yep, all the colons are in the perfect spot. We're good.
You're gonna pick on it, but it looks so much better.
Oh god. All right, let me read through my notes, make sure we got everything. I told you who the NPCs wanted to be paired up with. It seems like you took that into consideration with every single one. Yeah, none of the other characters have that strong of an opinion. Okay, so you guys have the plan. You're all sitting around the table. Did anybody have anything they wanted to talk about last minute? All right, if not, Bud. One second here. Let me actually open up my notes. As everybody's sort of getting up, I guess. Or even if they're not, as long as everybody's distracted, that's kind of all that matters. Marionette will try to sort of lean over and start a conversation with you real quick. And I actually have to find that on my notes real quick. Excuse the DM while he panics for like momentarily here. Okay, I found it. We're good. But yeah, so Marionette will sort of tap your shoulder, bud.
Yep.
Puppet, the chessboard is moving, and I fear I know the true objective. You see, I have something inside of this backpack. She pats her backpack, which is sort of on the floor right next to her. Something in this backpack, with the power to shatter entire realities. The enemy is no doubt attempting to get their hands on it, but we aren't going to let them, are we? Trade backpacks with me. You must promise to keep mine safe at all cost. And how do you respond, bud?
Sure, but I'm going to pull out one bottle from my backpack before I do.
Okay. If you don't want to say which one in particular, you can just write like a dash next to it on your inventory list and I can see it. Or
Okay.
just write like removed or something like that. Not that she
Fine.
plans on fucking with any of your things, but you know, when she does inevitably fuck with your things. I am also curious as to which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I am too.
Oh, you're not even sure which one?
I need a bottle of alcohol with me at all times.
Oh
That
my
is
god.
fair. You gave the Westgate key card away. Oh,
I
shit,
did. That's why I took the
So
one off of it for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna delete that. There we go.
Unfortunately, Bud isn't malicious with that. He was just forgetful. So as soon as he was
That was
reminded of that,
it was such a good opportunity too. All right. I'll let you figure out what it is, but
Okay.
you and her trade backpacks, so just keep that in mind. You have her backpack, she has yours. You slip one of your bottles. Do you slip it into her backpack as she gives it to you?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd assume you just kind of do it quickly then, just kind of open it up and drop it in.
Yep.
Okay. And with that out of the way, is everybody ready to head out? Because we will be starting free time.
Yeah.
Okay, Ian, you're all good. You don't have anything else you wanted to say?
No.
Okay. Bud, did you have anything you wanted to say or do real quick as everybody's gathered around the banquet hall table?
Yeah, I'd catch Marionette up on what happened this morning.
Ah, I see. She would tell you that she saw, as she was doing her laundry, she managed to catch a glimpse of the bear wandering the hallways and thus hid in her room for most of the morning. Was there anything else or was that it?
That was it.
All right, David, was there anything else you wanted to do real quick before everybody takes off as everybody's sort of gathered at the banquet hall table?
There is something I want to do, but after everyone scatters.
Okay. So you'll kind of lag behind as everybody leaves then?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair. So that happens. So Allison, was there anything you wanted to do as everybody's sort of getting ready to sort of pack up and leave?
I kind of want to look around to see if I can find anything that might give clues as to why the pot is drawing more power. That would be like from outside the room.
Okay, outside the.
Outside the room that the pod's in, like just trying to figure out because it just started happening randomly, right? See if there's anything else that's going weird, kind of thing.
Okay, so you'd be doing some detective work, I guess, is your
Yes.
plan? Okay. Julian, was there anything you wanted to do real quick or say, since everybody's gathered at the banquet hall table before everybody starts packing up and leaving, I guess?
Wait, what time is it?
It's currently probably about 7:45.
7:45. Okay, PM or AM? I'm
It's in the
sorry.
morning, so AM.
Okay, yeah, my stuff is that. I think I might want to go to that pod area too and check it or investigate it. Because I'm kind of curious, why is that drawing so much energy?
Okay, give me 1 second here.
Yep.
Okay, so you're planning on heading immediately to the pod area for your free time.
Yes.
Okay. Um, 1 second here.
Nick, great at multitasking.
I am excellent at multitasking.
He has to set up all our deaths that we just set up for him. I can't wait for that chandelier to fall on top of me.
Oh no, don't get
Don't
that
give
song
me
stuck in my head.
ideas. All right. I think everything's good. Okay. So you wanted to head to the pod for your free time. Okay, so I'm assuming everybody basically for the most part starts getting up and et cetera, et cetera. Marionette and Robin are on first watch. And Magnus will gather up everything he needs. By everything he needs, I mean like food. The food he can find that is sort of untainted by floor, which is not really a lot. In fact, he looks sad and just gives up on the idea. But he sort of sighs as he stands up. Well, it looks like I know what I'm doing for the next 24 hours. Yay, me. And I suppose I'll have to grab something to eat real quick on the way over. He looks over towards Marionette and Robin. Well, are you two ready? And they will both nod. Magnus, Marionette, and Robin will then depart. And from there, we're going to start free time. And we're going to do free time in 4-hour increments just because of the whole watch order thing. But before that, are you guys ready to take like a 5 or 10 minute break?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. you can take
Okay,
a few minute
because
break.
I have to pee, etc., etc. So.
Yeah. All right, chat. We'll be back in just a few moments. All right, chat. We're back.
We're back. We're all ready to begin.
Yes.
All right, free time. So everybody sort of gets up from the banquet table. People begin leaving. Magnus, Marionette, and Robin. Marionette and Robin go for their watch, and Magnus is just screwed. He's going to be down there 24 hours no matter what, trying to figure that whole mess out. But those three leave, and we're going to do something that we didn't do last session because we were doing other things last session. But Ian, we're going to start with you. Go ahead and roll me a D100 for the free time table. 72. Let me scroll. Why you got to roll so high? Why can't you
Because
roll
you the
low?
roll low?
Now I got to scroll up all the way. What'd you roll? 72? Almost there. Let's see. I hate you. You find 100 mono coins, Ian.
Sick.
So go ahead and add those. So what is your plans, at least for the first 4 hours of free time?
I don't have one, actually. Wait.
That's
Yes, I do.
upsetting.
Yes, I do. I will start wandering the amusement park shopping area.
Okay, you're going for the shop.
Yes.
All right, so you're walking into the shop.
No, just around the area the shop is in.
Are you trying to like case the joint?
No, just walking around.
You're trying to case the joint, aren't you? All right, you walk around the shopping. Well, there's not really a district. You're in the center district, and the shop is in the center district. You see the shop. You see Phoebe at the counter, and that's pretty much it. Are you just staring at the shop the whole time, or?
What buildings are next to the shop, if there are any?
There's not. So the administration is basically like front and center of the center district. If you walk out of the administration building, which is, again, where all the housing, the banquet hall, all that stuff is, that's the main building. If you walk out of there and you take a left, you'll eventually reach a small building that is the shop, and it has a sign and everything.
All right. I will walk in there and ask her what kind of stuff she's selling.
As you walk in, she will greet you. Come to sell your soul, mortal.
Yeah, someone's soul.
You want to know what she has for sale?
Yes.
She seems very happy that she gets to show off her wares. You see, I don't really have a lot right now. However, she disappears behind the counter for a moment, then pops back up. With a flashlight. Behold. 20 mono coins. And the flashlight doesn't look very good for you, who probably has a better one in your backpack.
I pull it out.
Oh, I see. That's most disappointing. Well, actually, I just got these in. And she disappears behind the counter, and when she reappears, Ian, she pops 2 books on the counter.
I look at the book.
Get it.
The first one you pull up is called Star Maiden, The Push and Pull of Gravity's Dogma. As you read the back, you'll see that it details the adventure of a notorious space pirate who falls in love with an alien princess after being paid to capture her. Do you look at the other book?
Yes.
All right, the other book is called A Rogue's Tale, The Big Sack. This details the adventure of a rogue and his sexual exploits.
How much for the books?
It seems like you've just broken her. Because she's now realizing, with everything going on, that a price has not been set quite yet.
Somehow Julian feels in his bones that his book's being sold with no price set yet.
Exactly. You can feel it in your bones.
Who am I with again? Juliet?
That's your
for
watch, but we're doing free time right now.
Oh, free time. All right, I'm
Yeah.
just well, where am I? I'm just like I feel disturbance in the force.
I can feel it. Special promotional. These are the first ones that are being sold. How about 100 mono coins for both?
How about
Somehow,
some Bitcoin instead?
somehow Julian is at ease.
Do you not know about the value of cryptocurrency?
No.
How about Lance Armstrong's missing testicle?
I'm only interested in something if I can resell it. I'm not a collector.
Ah, okay. Let me see what I have at the back for trading.
Oh God. Oh no. Okay.
You knew this is what was gonna happen.
Yeah, that's fair. This is gonna be the deal to end all deals ever. I can already feel it.
Okay, Nick. I just open the bag, look in there, look at her, see anything you like?
You asking me to look through this table? 1 second.
Not just the table, the everything.
Let
She looks in and sees a bear.
let me pull up your inventory, I guess.
Yet doesn't question.
I see you have quite a few kidneys in there.
Yes.
And I also see...
She's looking at, let's see, a power washer, a slick cucumber, a wheelchair.
A big bag.
She is expressing great interest in your bone saw and your crowbar.
That is a big bag.
I will trade you both books for your crowbar and your bone saw.
Hmm.
I don't often make deals like this. But for
Will you
you,
use
my
either
first
of them on
customer,
me?
I'll make an exception.
What was that?
I was just asking. You're not planning on using either of these on me, are you?
I don't plan things.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright, so you get rid of the bone saw and the crowbar.
Yes.
Alright, I will, actually, to help me later, I'm just gonna write sold next to them. And, when I actually go through after we're done playing, I will sort of take care of those. Okay, so move to those. She will give you both books. Would you like me to read an excerpt from any of them?
Not while I'm standing in public.
I mean, it's just you and the bear around. I was just gonna read in case you were curious. Can I actually drop these? You see, when I made these, I wasn't expecting these to go into anybody else's inventory. Let me see if I... Oh, I think I can just do this. Bloop. There's that one. And where is... There it is. So you'll just have to keep in mind, as you press the red bubble for, like, more information, keep in mind that I made it with the intention of it being in Denzel's inventory. So, like, it says a hefty book containing your latest masterpiece. Just know that it's obviously not your latest masterpiece. It's Denzel's or Julian's.
Yeah.
But that worked, right? You can. It has an excerpt if you want to read both of them.
You said they're in the inventory already?
They're in your inventory. Yeah. One
Good
is
luck
called.
finding them.
Yeah, good luck, exactly. Good luck finding them. It's erotic novel and then another erotic novel. So, everything's alphabetized. So yeah, as Bud said, good luck.
Oh.
But
Oh.
but there's that. I wrote those, by the way, so have fun with that. And Allison just goes, "What the fuck?"
Was there anything else you had in mind?
Nope. And I just walk out, holding the books tight.
Thank you for your patronage.
As you walk out. All right, we're gonna leave you there, as I'm sure you have two new flashy smashy books you'd like to read. They're not actually that bad. The one of them is just a joke with a punchline at the end, and the other one's kind of more or less the same way. They're not actually bad. But we're gonna leave you there for a moment, and we're gonna go to Bud. Bud, what is your plan for free time?
I want to kind of go for a walk around the entrance to the western gate and see if anything's different from yesterday.
Okay. You wouldn't find anything different at all.
Yeah.
Also, just to make sure you remember when you were fighting, it was on the other side of the
I
gate
know.
on the actual beach.
I'm
Okay,
aware.
yeah.
I can't go over there now.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, you wouldn't find anything. Was there anything else you wanted to do?
Nope.
All right, so you're just kind of walking over there and hanging out?
Yeah, hanging out in the general area, kind of walk around for 4 hours, take a look around.
Okay. Now I'm scared, but all right, David, it is your turn.
All right. So as everyone kind of scatters, I'd like to walk up to Monokuma and ask him a question. And Nick, can we go to the other chat?
Yep, you'll have to give me a minute as I fumble my way over there, but yeah.
Hello. All right. So I'd like to ask Monokuma a very specific question.
Okay.
So as I go up, hey, Monokuma, question for you. You remember how yesterday during the party I had to deal with the goose?
Yes, and you are our hero for that.
Can you get me any more trank darts?
I would have to ask around. Actually, my daughter might be able to help you with that. Now that I think about it, she's probably the best person to ask.
Because if I can get at least one, I just want it on the off chance somebody decides to go against the group in this vote that we may have to make at, probably 7, 8 o'clock in the morning if everything goes wrong.
Of course. Yeah, anything you would need like that, that'd be up to my daughter to ask. She'd be the one to go to.
Perfect. Then I'm gonna head quickly off to her.
Okay. You find her, you would probably pass Ian along the way, as he's holding two books in his
I'm
hands.
just gonna ignore him.
But you walk in, she greets you. I assume you ask about the trank darts.
Yes.
She tells you that she could get it, but that she would need either some money or anything else that you would have for trade.
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to come across any mono coins. And as much as I'd hate to do this, how many dice?
How many dice would it take?
Yeah.
She will, she'll say one set of each because she actually doesn't have any. Actually, she changes her mind. As many D4s as you'll give. Perhaps 50?
I go into my bag and I pull out a very special box.
All right.
I open it. This is a part of my D4 collection. I call them my caltrops.
That is exactly what she was looking for. And that's exactly why she wanted them.
I can do a 50. I have enough to keep running without 50.
All right. You can go ahead and add, she'd give you one of what you were looking for. Go ahead and add that, and then we can hop back over to the chat because the others are probably wondering what's going on.
Well, I'm going to let you know a plan
Okay.
to go with this. To make it a little easier, so my plan, now that I have the Trank Dart, is I am going to spend the next 24 hours with everybody else in the pods.
Okay, so you're spending your entire time down there?
Yes, and I'm going to be talking to all of them and getting kind of a feel on where they all stand on which side of the fence they are on in case things get wrong. I'm doing one of the most DM things possible and being the mediator.
Okay, I like that idea. All right, so
Okay.
I'll keep that in mind then.
Yep. All right. We can hop back.
Okay.
Your character to drink.
All
Hi,
right, we are
everyone.
back.
Hello.
That took a little bit of time, sorry. Ian, as you are walking with your books, you would have seen David pass you. He would have taken one look at your books and probably noped the fuck out of there.
I gave him a thumbs up.
Yeah, I just shook my head and walked past.
All right, so after that whole adventure, where are you headed off to again, David?
After that, I am gonna head down to the pods.
Okay. We're gonna leave you there for a minute so that I can figure out whether you get there before Julian does. But before we skip over to Julian, we first have to go to Allison. So, Allison, what are your plans?
Told you I'm being a detective, and I'm gonna drag Crash with me for the first bit.
Okay, he has nothing else to do, so he'd follow you. Where are you headed off to?
Oh, I don't know. I'm
I
just,
see.
yeah, I don't know.
Hmm. All right, what were you looking for in particular? I guess you're trying to get information.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
looking for anything else that seems like it's odd that might be related.
you just be sort of walking randomly then?
Yeah, because we don't know why the power suddenly is being drawn by the pod, but I figure there might be some sort of other thing connected to it, so that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Okay, well, as you walk around, I'd assume you'd pretty much be walking around everywhere. When you get to the South District, you actually do see something kind of strange. It looks like some of the bigger rides have been shut down. Some of the smaller rides, like bumper carts, that sort of thing, those would still be operational, but all the big roller coasters would be shut down.
I guess that makes sense if the power is being drawn to the pod exponentially.
If you'd look around, you'd probably find Champ, who you guys haven't really had a chance to talk with. Um, he would tell you, and I'm not going to try to do his voice because I'm already doing Phoebe's, but he would tell you that the bigger rides are shut down out of safety concerns, not necessarily a power thing yet. But there are plans to systematically shut down all the larger rides eventually if it's needed.
What do you mean by safety concerns?
Well, let's see. Big roller coaster, entire Habadome tipped.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
So what they want is they want the construction bears, which you'd probably see happening soon, is to go through all the big rides and make sure that they're still ready to operate and nothing's been irreparably damaged.
Hmm.
That way, if someone decides, I'm going to go on Splash Mountain, and they get a bigger splash than they were expecting, or at least everybody around them does,
Oh,
you know, as one of the bolts came loose or something. All right, but that's pretty much your plan for right now?
yeah.
All right, and Julian, what's your plan here?
So I already went to the tube thing, or am I at the? I'm at the life
Right
support.
now,
Where am I at?
as we're starting, everybody's basically just leaving the banquet hall to go about their business.
Oh, okay then.
Are you heading just straight to the pods with Marionette, Robin, and Magnus? Because they're heading straight there.
Yes, I'll follow them.
Okay, let me move this out of my way. So you're following them. Magnus and the other two, respectively, they stop by one of the food stands. Magnus gets a large coffee in a Monokuma themed cup, and everybody sort of gets a snack and drinks. And let me just. I keep hiding my own shit. That's probably not a good thing. Eventually, you guys walk down through the South District. You would probably pass Allison and Crash on the way. Eventually, you walk out of the park. You come to the elevator. You all step on. The elevator lurches downward and descends into the dark. Eventually, it comes to a slow stop near the entrance to the room you woke up in. The room looks similar, about the same as the last time you saw it anyway. Circular ring of pods is the dominant feature in this room. In front of each pod is a sizable footlocker, most of which are open with only a couple closed. A lone air conditioner drones on from overhead. And Magnus sort of begins setting down his stuff. He has a really big book and a cord that Monokuma had handed him, which would be the instruction manual for the pod and the cord he needs to plug in from the pod to his monopad, which is a pretty sizable length. Magnus he sits on the floor, he leans his back up against one of the pods adjacent to the girl who has not woken up yet. Her name is Choharu, if you remember. And after he plugs everything in, he puts his coffee right next to him on the floor. Was there anything you wanted to do real quick as this is happening? What is your plan? Are you just kind of hanging out? He's dead. I killed him.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. I'm like, I don't have my mic off. I don't know, because if everything with the pod, I guess I just try to investigate, like, nothing, see if anything's out of the ordinary.
Okay. How are you investigating, I guess? What are you doing?
Like, I try, even though I have no knowledge of this place, I just try to look and at the pod to look at this. Like, is there like a computer? You said, is there a computer system?
Yep, so it folds up into the pod and it folds out, but
Okay.
probably about knee length or knee height, sorry, for you. A small little panel will pop out and it will have the person's name, their heart rate, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, what was?
Go
Okay,
ahead.
can I read it? Can I open it and read it? The information of this pod?
Yep, give me 1 second here. I actually have to go way back into the very, very beginning here to sort of give you a better. Here we go. Okay, so just to recap, as you take a closer look at the pod, the outside seems sleek, smooth, and tough. Near the bottom, only a foot or two above the floor, is an assortment of controls, gauges, a vent, displays with various metrics such as power usage, which that one in particular will display sort of a red graph. And if you watch it, it will slowly, pixel by pixel, seem to be increasing a little bit. There's ports for a plug-in, which Magnus has a cord plugged into it running from the pod to his monopad. A screen that reveals the occupant's name, which is Choharu Mori. Heart rate would probably be, it's extremely low. It's like 3 beats per minute, which if you would ask, you would probably be told that's normal by Magnus as he's reading the instruction manual, etc., etc. Was there any information in particular you were looking for?
Like, is there like anything to say? It's like anything that would tell me to like open pod or waken early or something.
No.
Damn.
So as you're investigating the pod, Marionette and Robin will sort of begin talking. Robin in particular will ask Marionette how exactly they should be doing this, and they'll come up to a consensus that one stays near the pod, which will be Marionette, which
Mhm.
she will be very interested as to what you're doing, and she'll watch you extremely carefully. And Robin will be sitting by Magnus, sort of looking over his shoulder now and then. As long as you don't, touch anything that Marionette thinks you shouldn't touch, she won't say anything. She'll eventually get bored and she'll sort of sit down instead of stand. Was there anything else you wanted to do real quick?
If none of this makes sense to me,
Yeah,
like,
none of it would really make
because
sense.
it's all this technology of the pod's probably over above my head because I don't even know how I got here. I just wanted to see if there was anything that would like say anything that says that where all this power is being, why it's sucking up so much power or something like that. But
No, the only thing related to power usage is just a graph, which
you
it does
said it's
not look.
steadily going up.
Yeah, it's a graph and it's in the red and it's slowly increasing pixel by pixel.
I just
But
kind
other
of,
than that, you
yeah, I just
wouldn't
kind of
find
look at it
anything else.
like, I kind of look at it like, huh, that's weird. Because it is, I could see that something's doing something's out of normal, but I can't figure out what to do with it. I I guess I'd leave then, and since it's still free time. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go check out that bookstore.
Okay. How soon are you leaving? How long are you there? I should say.
Probably for like, I think normally I'd probably be like there for like 5 minutes and then give up because nothing makes sense to me.
Okay. So you head back up. You take the elevator. It brings you back up, and you're heading towards the shop.
Yes.
Okay. No, it's only been like 5 minutes. So you walk back to the shop. You walk in. Phoebe greets you. She tells you that your book is a hot seller, and she's already sold a copy of each.
I get
Um,
ecstatic. Like, oh, how many copies?
she will tell you one of each so far already.
Oh, 2 copies? Oh, I
She
wonder
will
who
tell
around
you
here.
because because you two didn't talk about price, she let him go for 100 mono coin. No, fuck, that's right. She starts panicking. No, she was a bone saw. She got distracted with the bone saw and the crowbar. Fuck. She starts having a little
Oh,
meltdown, and she hands you. We'll say she hands you 50 mono coins as an apology, which is what you would have gotten anyway. So go ahead and add 50 mono coins to your inventory.
yay.
And she tells you that due to certain disclosure agreements, she cannot tell you who bought the books.
That is fine. And I though at the price for 50, that is fine.
So just to
Or
clarify,
100. If you're gonna sell the books at 100, then that is a. I I felt something in the force that said that was fine, so I approve of
uh,
that.
100 each or 50 each.
100 each is fine.
Okay, so twice as expensive as the one she just let go. Got it. She will keep that in mind,
Hey, I mean, supply and demand, man. One sold
right?
immediately. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
gotta raise them prices now. Um, but is that all you were planning to do in the shop?
Uh, and then she said you wanted to give me a tour, so like,
Right.
are you still up for that tour of this place?
Yes.
She pats the counter.
This, my dear friend, is the customer experience station, also known as the counter. This is where I take your soul.
I
Sounds
see
about
That's the
that.
right.
tour. I hope you enjoyed.
I'd just be like, what?
She'll point behind you. That's the storeroom. She's still getting all that figured out. There's some shelves that have a lot of totes. It looks like she's in the process of trying to decide where everything goes. She has a couple things up for sale, but not too much. Nothing really important. Most of it's like decorations. A
But there is
lot
a
of
crowbar and a
copies.
bone saw.
Yeah, there is a crowbar and a bone saw and maybe some dice, but that's besides the point. Um, and yeah, a lot of plastic totes and stuff. She's still sort of getting the shop set up, but it looks like it's starting to get ready.
Where does
Um,
she have my book set up at?
right now, pretty much directly behind you. Each book has its own sort of metal. If you've ever walked into a gas station, you know the circular metal thing that spins. It's on one of those, and they're
Oh.
both filled with copies. Each of your books has its own little metal display that spins.
Well, I love how you have this display here, but let me take 2 of each of these books, and I go take like a little table or something and have it set by the window, if she has a window in her store.
There is a window. Yep.
Oh, I
Okay.
like that idea.
Y- And let's see what other and we'll put some other little knickknacks you have around here, because what you want to do is have the guests come towards your store. We want to have an eye-popping stuff at the window.
You're
So I'm gonna
starting to
spend
remind me of someone.
like who?
Harshman came by a little while ago. He was doing the same thing.
Oh, I haven't seen him in a while. Where did he leave off to?
He just wanted to know what I had in stock. He actually came by really early in the morning.
Do you know where he
And
went? Do you know where he went? Or no? Which way he went afterwards?
Back to the administration building, I assume.
I wonder if I should check
This
up on him.
was before your announcement.
Of my books?
No, the wake-up call.
Huh. That's strange.
All right, was there anything
What?
else you wanted to talk about, or?
It's two things. I wonder if I should check up on him or should I set up this store?
That's up to you. You can help set up the store if you want.
I think knowing me, I'll probably I'll check up on him later. But for right now, I do want to set up my store or set up the store and get my books in front of the window. So I help
Alright.
her.
All right. So you're setting up the store. We're gonna run back to David
Yes.
real quick because you're heading down.
To the pods.
Okay. You would pass Julian along the way. You get down there. It's probably been probably like 30 minutes or so at this point.
Yep,
You take the elevator. It descends.
Yep. And once I'm down there, I'm gonna kind of survey the room, and find a spot on the wall that nobody's at that has a good view of the room, and I'm going to take out my mini making kit and set up and start making some minis while having some casual conversation with the people in the room.
Okay. Eventually, Marionette was standing, but she will sit against Choharu's pod. She'll be hugging her backpack tightly. Eventually, I'm sorry, bud. Eventually, she will get bored and begin fishing around inside before pulling out a certain vial. And this one catches her eye for a very specific reason. As she's sort of messing around, She pulls out a vial. It contains a white liquid. It seems to glow and shine, producing a small amount of light, especially when shaken.
Fuck.
And she'll be very, this actually looks, is this alcohol? She'll pop it open, and it's just a small little vial. And, she'll drink the whole thing. And, set the, she'll set the empty vial down.
You know,
Couple minutes.
You didn't really catch me as someone who drunk during the day.
Actually, that was the first time I've ever drank alcohol. You know, recently I've been trying to think of ways to ostracize Fantasia. You see, I have always had a gift for manipulating people by using their weaknesses. Right now I'm looking at exploiting Robin's lack of confidence and Castanet's odd behavior lately. Fantasia, however, apparently fixes these flaws I utilize and renders me with less viable puppets the more time goes on. Allison also makes me uncomfortable. She practically has X-ray vision with her talent, possibly unearthing my motives and social tethers with a single glance. Right now, I'm also attempting to unearth Crash's inner tendencies and flaws, but his proximity to Allison makes him off limits for now. Might have to change that eventually. And after she says that whole spiel, she'll suddenly slam her hands to her mouth. I don't know why I said that. Robin will sort of stop what he's doing and give her an odd look.
As I kind of put down the mini I'm working on, and I just start writing stuff down. Well, I mean, I have heard that alcohol can be almost like a truth serum. When you get drunk enough, you just spout whatever is on the top of your mind.
I've never heard of that before, but I wouldn't know. I've never drank alcohol before. I tend to think, people who drink alcohol are easily manipulated. Strangely enough, Bud has come across as not necessarily that way. Though I approached him that way at first, he actually is proving more difficult than I would have imagined. I think I've taken a liking to him. She'll sort of slam her hands even harder sort of against her mouth as she keeps talking.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right. That sounds like what alcohol does. I've had to study the effects of alcohol to make sure that when my players in my games get drunk, it's as believable as possible. And, some people say the darndest things while they're drunk.
So you think I'm intoxicated after one drink? I didn't realize alcohol could be that powerful.
Well, seeing as that was a tiny vial, I'd assume it's a highly potent alcohol, and if you've never drank anything before, and based on what I see of you, you're probably a lightweight.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
Want it.
So while we're talking truce, what side of the fence are you on in worst case scenario of today? Are you on the fence of not having anyone die or ejecting the pod into the deep darkness of the ocean?
Oh, if I have to, I'll kill her myself. As long as I look good doing it.
Writing that down.
Robin at this point has closed his book he's reading.
I'm not
Magnus,
even mad, Nick, just so you know.
Magnus doesn't really even seem to be paying attention. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
Robin, what side of the fence are you on?
Well, I definitely don't like the idea of killing her, but if it comes to it, at the end of the day, she's going to be dead either way after 24 hours. I feel like not, ending things would kind of just be pointless at that point. Obviously, I want to help her, but I mean, if we can't, we can't.
Fair. All fair. Can't fault anyone for that kind of logic. Magnus, what about you? You blurted
I
out
think I
a
made my
few-
position pretty clear this
Yeah.
morning.
Just had to
But
make sure.
I obviously wouldn't want the, 14, 15 of you coming and ganging up on me and beating me up if this all goes south, so obviously I'm going to try my hardest to get her out, but I'm not promising anything.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. As I'm
I
writing.
especially don't like the idea of sitting here for 24 hours. I'd better get bathroom breaks. Otherwise, it's going to get real uncomfortable for everyone.
I think we can make sure you get bathroom breaks. All right. As I finish writing and then pick up my mini and continue working on it.
All right. Unless you had anything else or any other conversations you wanted to start. About 3 hours go by, and and Marionette, her stomach begins cramping so hard that it's actually audible from across the room, and she excuses herself and leaves.
And she's going to be hungover in the morning.
All right. Unless there's anything else you wanted to do, that's going to conclude the first 4 hours. Sean, I'm so
I'm
sorry,
not
but
even fucking mad, man.
I thought it'd be hilarious. All right, so the first 4 hours end. We're gonna go to the next 4 hours, which is Castanet and Fantasia. David, you would know or realize or see that Fantasia actually carries Castanet down to the pods. Castanet does not look good at all. She looks incredibly sick. Fantasia will lay her next to Magnus. Castanet will be in the fetal position, and Fantasia will go towards watching the pod. So with that in mind, we're gonna skip back over to Ian. Ian, what's your plan for the next 4 hours?
I am crawling inside the bag and reading those novels.
All right, which one in particular?
A Rogue's Tale.
Okay. It'll only take me like 60 seconds. Do you guys actually want to hear this or do you not want to hear this?
I don't want to hear this.
I'm
Alright,
curious.
you can read them, Denzel. They're in your inventory.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. I'll be reading as well.
Is it gonna be too spicy for Twitch?
No, it's not. I don't think so. I can
No, they're
send it
not.
to David and he can make the call. It should have popped up.
Let me quickly read it.
That's kind why that was my immediately said no because I was worried that it might be too spicy for
Just
Twitch.
skip to the last line. That's the worst of it.
No, that's
Okay.
that's fine.
See, I told you it wasn't that bad. So you begin reading, Ian.
Yes.
All right, let me actually get some pop here.
Soda.
Nick,
Soda.
drink some water.
Drink some soda.
No.
Nick, just call it water.
That's a good idea. All
Call
right,
it
so
apple juice.
A Rogue's Tale, the Big Sack. A violent shower of steel, sparks, and sweat erupts into the empty air between them. Kai McStrausshaven admired the way this angsty sword maiden gripped the shaft and handle of his true striking blade, after having disarmed him, almost literally had he not reacted in time, and sheathed her own weapon in the blink of an eye. To whom do I owe the pleasure? Kai confidently inquired. The fair sword maiden replied in an almost callous voice befitting a taskmaster. The only thing you owe me is your head, rogue. Kai smiled slyly. This wasn't his first run-in with a bounty hunter. I'm afraid only one of us will be giving head tonight, my lady.
Ah!
And that's your excerpt. All right, so that's what you read, Ian. You're spending your the next 4 hours reading.
Yes, and I am gonna have to call it a night here for me.
Okay, I figured. Yeah, you'll just have to watch what happens. The ending is going to be pretty important, so.
I will send you a message for my plans for future stuff. For
Okay,
this session.
for this session? Okay.
Yes.
Let me take a quick read at that.
I mean, based on the fact that in about 30 minutes will be our normal end time, I'm suspect that we'll even finish off what you have planned, Nick.
Oh no. All right.
It happens.
Yeah, this might have gone a little longer than I was expecting,
Oh,
but we'll
that's
see how
fine.
far we get.
It's an
It just
entirely
means you'll have more
roleplay.
stuff prepared for next time.
Exactly.
That is very true.
Catch you guys later.
Right.
Bye.
All right, see you, Ian. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so Ian's off reading his books. Bud, next 4 hours, what are your plans?
I'm going to go make a show of how much fun I'm having.
All right.
And see if I get any mono coins.
So you're just walking around like, oh, look at how much fun I'm having. Yeah.
Basically, and I will try like any attraction that I can. I will grab any poor passerbys that are near me and try to drag them into my fun.
This is okay. You find a couple of the construction bears that are taking a break. You kidnap them, slap them on the bumper cars. They're not having anywhere near as much fun as you are, but you know, whatever. You're having fun. That's what counts. Is that your plan for the next 4 hours?
That's my plan for the next 8.
All right. You'll probably have to remind me as I keep going
Yep.
down the list. All right. David, you are watching. Castanet will spend the entire time in the fetal position. Next to Magnus, Fantasia will be watching the pod diligently. Nothing else will really happen. Fantasia will be blowing bubbles as she always does. Was there anything you wanted to do while this happens or anything?
Yeah, at some point I will put down my minis and grab my notebook. Castanet.
You see she's shaking and she doesn't really respond. And Fantasia will pipe up. She's not really feeling good lately.
I understand that. It's kind of a stressful situation, but I did kind of want to hear what side of the fence both of you are on in case it goes south and we have to make a decision.
I'd rather die than sacrifice someone else for me. I understand that everybody's lives will end if we don't do anything. I would still rather try and stick it out, but I guess if we don't have a choice, we don't have a choice. I can tell you, for Castanet's sake, she's probably going to want to push the button. I don't really think she, oddly enough, does good underwater, if that makes sense, which is kind of strange.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I was hoping to hear straight from her mouth, but I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon.
She seems to be like this anytime she has to, I don't know, leave the administration building.
So, 90% of her time in this will be her in the fetal position.
Well, I'm trying to work her through her problems, and I think I'm making progress. She looks over, and Castanet's still in the fetal position. But we still have a long way to go.
Yeah, I can see that. As I make a couple notes, and then I start on a new figure, and as I'm starting to mold this one, it's in the fetal position.
Okay. So you'll start working on your mini. Fantasia will spend the rest of the time mostly silent, blowing bubbles. She will lean her back on the pod, keep her arms crossed, but otherwise appear stoic and composed. That's all you had then?
Yep.
All right, let's move on to Allison. What are your plans for the next 4 hours? I had Ian roll off the table, and I forgot to have the rest of you roll off the table. Bud, go ahead and roll me a D100 real quick, and we'll see what you get. You got a 34. Okay. Do. That's actually hilarious. Oh my god.
Allison,
Oh.
What?
The Mono Police need help tracking down a serial killer.
We'd have
We'll
the
get
best damn adventure doing it.
we'll get to that later. David, go ahead and roll me a D100. Jesus hell, David. Good
Listen,
golly, how dare you
to,
make me scroll up?
I had to make up for the time I lost my non-essential bag.
Phoebe gives you one free thing from the shop. Allison, go ahead and roll me a D100.
Quick question, Nick.
Yeah.
Does that reverse something that
Boy.
happened earlier?
Let me. We'll say she gave you a coupon after the transaction.
Okay.
You rolled a 4. That's not very good.
No.
Well, oh man, whatever you ate last night did not agree with you. Spend most of free time glued to the toilet, leaving your companions bored and waiting outside.
That explains why I couldn't find much.
Yup. And Julian, go ahead and roll me a D100.
Depending on if it's still in effect, you might be able to have a chat with somebody.
Yeah, actually.
Oh my goodness, you're not wrong.
Denzel, roll D100. I require it.
Denzel.
oh fuck.
There he is. Roll a D100 and pray.
Yeah, I rolled it
Oh,
off
he
the
doesn't have
table.
him pinned. He's got his new computer.
I know how to do it by now. About dicing, so wow, still off the damn table. Try this again. There we go. Oh, I'm dead.
Boy.
Is Denzel also glued to the toilet?
No, Denzel finds a baseball with the word dreams written on it.
A baseball with the word dreams?
Yep, you find a baseball with the word dreams
Whatever you
written
do,
on it.
don't throw those dreams away.
Can I?
Okay, so that takes care of
Oh.
the tables. So where was I? I think I just got done with Dave because Bud spent his time having fun. David, you just talked to Fantasia Castanet. There wasn't anything else you wanted to do?
Nope.
Allison, you're glued to the toilet.
Do I run into?
There's quite a few outhouses, you know, the little outhouses they have in amusement parks.
Yeah, do I
Um,
run in?
You'd see one of them occupied.
Oh my
Yeah, you would see one of them occupied. Yeah, it is about that time.
Yeah.
So that's where you'll be spending quite a while from the sounds of it. Julian, what are you doing for the next 4 hours? I think you have your mic muted again, Denzel.
What do I?
There we go.
What did I do? I thought I was still helping this. Well, I was helping with the store.
Right, yeah.
So
Were you planning
I-
on doing that for like most of the day? Because it would take a while if you're trying to help her. It's just a lot of unpacking. That's basically the last thing she has to do is unpacking and decorating the store, sort of facing everything and all that.
Yeah, I think I'll just because I want to make sure that like, and mostly I'm thinking just for myself, but I also am trying to help make her store seem presentable so that way they can come and buy stuff and also buy my books. But yeah, so I'll help unpack and make decorate everything and set it up for her.
Okay. We'll head over to the next 4 hours. See, because we're kind of almost all the way through. We just have a little bit more
Isn't
to
the
go.
next 4 hours Ian's though?
Yep. He kind of sent me a list of everything he was doing. So it'll be Ian's turn and Grace. So Ian and Grace walk in. Let me read this real quick. Ian will offer one of his laptops to Magnus. Magnus will decline. Ian will offer him food and drink. Ian will then pull out an entire fucking outhouse out of his bag. Don't ask me how, because I don't know. Um, but yeah, he will pull out an entire outhouse and ask if Magnus needs it. Magnus says that would have been useful a couple hours ago for a certain someone, but nevertheless will thank Ian for the massive outhouse he somehow has in his bag.
I don't even know how.
I'm trying so hard to not actually have to explain how.
It's a bag of holding.
Officer Rush will come in after honing down on Ian. I will have to talk to Ian about that later, but Officer Rush will take Ian aside. Officer Rush will then come back and get Grace, also asking for a statement. So Grace will disappear for about 5 or 10 minutes also, and then come back. After that all happens, Ian will spend the time watching Magnus, again asking if he needs anything, and if he does, running up and grabbing it like more coffee, etc. Grace will spend her time leaning against the pod. One of her feet is propped up like always, her arms are crossed. Her eyes are constantly scanning the room for threats, etc., etc. Eventually, she will relax and pull out a kazoo, making sad kazoo noises, much to Magnus's dismay. Ian will find this funny because he is the one who gave her the kazoo. Eventually, Grace will time the kazoo sounds to Magnus's movements like some kind of musical narrator. David, what did you want to do during these 4 hours?
So during that time, first when I see Grace, I would ask her if her eyes are doing better.
She'll nod, her eyes are red, and she'll tell you that they still sting a little bit, but she's otherwise fine.
That's good. Were you able to see the doctors? Monokuma doctor? The Mono doctors?
She'll tell you that actually she had completely forgotten about it. She, after everybody sort of had split up, she ran. Was she doing anything? She would have ran back and probably wetted her eyes a little more, but they weren't bothering her. Um, she says if you're still worried, she can go after her shift or tomorrow or something. She's not too worried about it.
I'd recommend it just because getting chemicals in your eyes is not a good thing.
She'll smile and tell you it's not the first time she's had bleach in her eyes.
What?
Yeah, do you know how much this lady cleans?
Oh yeah. Like
being,
what?
I mean, I get that, but
I'm sure she's seen some things that she wanted to bleach her eyes afterwards. I'm just saying.
That's true
Right.
too, yeah.
but that wasn't normal bleach that got in your eyes. It was the heavy duty stuff.
Yeah, that explains why it hurt more. I got it. I understand now.
Yeah, it's still a good idea to at least get it checked out.
I'll talk to Monokuma about a medical professional after my watch.
Good. What side of the fence are you on? Are you
I'm not pressing the button and I'm beating up anybody who even thinks about it.
writes that down?
And
Good to
Ian will
know.
tell you because he sent me. Ian is on the side of pulling the plug if it comes up, which elicits a pretty nasty side glare from Grace.
Yeah, you'd be giving that glare to quite a few people.
You can't be serious.
Well, we're currently sitting at 5-4, 2 against.
Grace will sort of bury her head in her hands, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I don't like it either, but I'm kind of taking the role of mediator so that whatever does happen, we all agree as a group, and I don't want anyone to die either, but I also get where other people are coming from. It's not a fun situation.
Magnus, you'd better get her out of there. And Magnus will sort of nod as he's tapping away on his monopad. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about, or?
No, I'll kind of just do some small talk, mostly with Grace, while keeping an eye on Ian and make sure he doesn't pull anything weird out of his bag.
All right. That amount of time goes by smoothly. We're gonna head over to the start, but it's getting close to
How
the
did the
time.
serial killer stuff work out?
So as the park begins coming to a close, Officer Rush finds you again. Occupant Bud Bailey. I have been doing extensive investigation, and I believe we may have a serial killer on our hands. I believe that they are targeting the Monopolice, and I believe I am next. I need your expertise if I am ever to hope to catch this perpetrator.
All right, let's go. Come on, boys. Motion to the construction people that I've been
The
dragging
bears,
around.
a couple of the construction bears that you've been forcing to go on rides with you, they'll follow you. They'll be waving their hands very sarcastically, like, "Yay! Look at the fun we're having! Look, we're chasing a serial killer! So much fun!"
It's just like Scooby-Doo.
Oh my god! All right, I'm a professional at these types of things, but I'm actually curious as to how you would approach this situation. Pretend you're me and you have a serial killer after you. What would you do? And please don't say drink.
Slowly puts bottle away. Well, first thing I would do. Do you know the method of the murder?
Well, it's a serial killer, so it's the same method that it's gonna vanish, totally disappear, like erased from existence. Snap, gone, just like that.
Stay where everyone can see you.
That's a really good idea. No, of course. Why didn't I think of this? I just have to have all of you watch me the entire time. This is brilliant. No, even better, I go to a place where everybody's watching. I got it. We're heading to the sleeper pods, or at least I am. You don't have to follow me. If I stay there, nothing could happen. Thank you for your time, Bud Bailey. You've been a valuable asset. And she'll hand you 100 mono coins.
Sweet. I'll
I
just look
noticed
down
how
and whisper, "It's working."
I noticed how much fun you were having, she says as she walks away. So go ahead and add those.
I already did.
David, you'll notice Officer Rush comes back eventually and stays in the room with you guys.
So that was for the last thing. Am I rolling again for this thing?
No, it's once per free time.
Okay. Because you had me roll that for the 4 to 8 free time. I wasn't sure.
No, it's
Okay, it's
I
just
kind of
broken up
messed
into
it up,
parts.
but yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, this whole day is kind of broken into parts. So
Okay.
that thing, did you have anything that you wanted to do for the next 4 hours, which is 8 p.m. to 12 a.m.? Technically, the park will still stay open because of circumstances. So I think I said the park was closing, but I didn't mean it. It's staying open because of circumstances.
Yeah, I just would quickly.
Hmm. Okay. Let me 1 second. I guess where would you go for that? Or you can message me where you would go for that. But that would probably take up definitely the next 4 hours. Okay, yeah. We'll get to that later then. So that's what you're doing for these 4 hours. Julian, you would know that it's your time to go to watch. I assume you head down to the sleeper pods as it starts getting closer to your allotted time.
Yeah, I basically tell her I do as much as I can, but I tell her I have to go do my watch. And so I head down and I go try to, hopefully I head down or maybe find Juliet. If not, we just meet each other there.
She would meet you down there.
Okay. Then
Okay.
yes.
So David, you watch. Officer Rush comes in. Soon after, Juliet comes in, and soon after that, or Juliet comes in, and then soon after that, Julian comes in. Juliet will sit on her footlocker, which is closed, and Julian, would you watch Magnus?
Uh, yeah.
Okay. So as Juliet is sitting down, her eyes appear to be shifted and out of focus. It's like she isn't even really there. She sits on top of her footlocker, her hands framing her face. Every so often, she lets out a drawn out sigh, and I'm really sad that Ian is gone when this happens, but so
Oh.
be it. Eventually, she seems to notice her shiny friendship bracelet as if for the first time ever. She pulls out a large chef's knife out from somewhere. It expertly spins and dances and weaves between her fingers before coming to rest with its blade pointed towards the friendship bracelet. She begins carving letters into her bracelet. Um, Julian, she will then begin telling you of this great idea she has for an erotic novel about a talented patisserie that goes on a quest to find the sweetest boy. Eventually, they share a magical fruit that permanently weaves their destinies together. They get married and live happily ever after.
Oh, that is very beautiful story. You come up with that with yourself.
I did. As she's carving into her friendship bracelet, it looks like initials. Well, letters, I guess, because, not a lot of people's. I don't think Ian ever actually has a last name. I don't think any of the players have a last name. But on her friendship bracelet, she will
Except for me.
carve.
I do too.
Right, what am I saying? Yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah, a
Like,
couple of you do.
yeah.
She will carve I plus JL into her friendship bracelet. Was there anything you wanted to do or talk about, Julian?
I have to say that she has a very imaginative mind, and she should get into writing.
She says she'll consider the idea. Was there anything you wanted to do, David?
Um, at first, try to ignore most of the first conversation. Though, Julian, you would notice that one of the minis I'm working on is looking strikingly like you.
I look, it's like
Except on its head, there's a giant dick.
I look at it like, oh, that's kind of how very flattering of you. Hope you get a laugh out of that.
Oh,
Ugh,
I am. And then I cut the dick off.
Oh God.
No one appreciates art around here. Everyone's a fucking critic.
Sorry.
Where's
I had to. Don't worry. As I start shaping the hair to match his hair.
where is Harshman when I need him? I need the rants.
Somewhere off in the distance, Harshman is screaming at one of the construction bears for not doing his job correctly.
But anyway, Julian, what side of the fence are you on? Are you
What?
for ejecting or against ejecting?
Raises the eyebrow.
I've read his books. I'm pretty sure it's both.
I'm talking about the pod with the person in it. In the situation that we're in.
Oh,
Get
of
your
course.
minds out of the gutter, people.
First of all, thank you for reading my books. Second of all, do not want to. This person does not know why or how he got here. Why should we take away his ability? Why should we take away that right for him to at least live? I
Her.
don't think her to live.
All right, so You are against ejecting.
Yes.
What about you, Juliet?
I would much rather not have anyone die.
Second that.
But if it
Preferable.
comes down to it and we have to pick between her or her and everyone, it kind of makes sense to pick her.
Alright, so you are for ejecting in worst case scenarios. I get it. It's not an easy choice to make no matter what.
Juliet will nod.
There has to
Especially,
be some way.
especially considering that we are all that's left of humanity, theoretically.
We need as much life. We need to save as much life as possible. If we're the only, like you said, we're the only ones left. I think there's already been enough death around here for years now.
Yeah, so the more I think about it, the more depressing it is. As I go back to finishing up Julian's hair on the mini I'm working on.
We were having a nice moment there. You just keep playing with that thing.
Excuse me, it's called a
It doesn't.
mini.
It looks nothing like me.
I think it. I mean, I haven't painted it yet, but I think it has a very striking resemblance.
Everyone's the critic.
I know what it's missing. As I start sculpting a book.
I have to go walk on the other side and of the. Just go sit somewhere else.
All right. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do, or is that the end of those 4 hours?
I will. No.
Did I just spend 8 hours in the bathroom?
Yeah, man, it's that taco, or whatever you had.
It's stuck to
I
the
can,
toilet.
I can get back to you. I guess I might have skipped you.
No, it's fine.
No, I mean you've done Bud and me. Now it's Allison's turn.
Right? Yeah, I haven't made it down the list yet. Okay, so yeah, Allison, a couple hours go by, and eventually you feel like perhaps you can leave your newfound friend.
I have no idea.
You'll
What
notice
I
the
just
stall next to you or whatever outhouse next to you, wherever you went, is still occupied. The truth comes out, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Dumb bitch.
She fucked around. Now she has to find out.
Yeah.
Can I tell someone's in there? Like, other
Yeah,
than the obvious fact that it's occupied?
yeah, you'd be able to tell.
Like-
There would be noises of great suffering coming from.
Hey, are you okay in there? Because I think I ate something bad, and maybe we need to tell someone that the food got poisoned or something.
This is all the work of my enemies. I will see them laid at my feet for this. And then you'll hear some groaning.
Who are your enemies?
All of them.
Are you drunk?
I don't know anymore. And you'll hear sobs coming from the bathroom.
You need help in there?
No, I'll be fine, I think, in a few hours.
Do you want me to stay, or do you just want to be left alone?
Oh poop.
No, I'm okay.
You're literally sobbing.
It's fine. I do it all the time.
That doesn't make me feel better. Oh. Now, just tell me, what'd you eat for food? Because I'm serious about the food poisoning thing.
I grabbed a bagel from one of the stands.
Okay, so we definitely didn't eat the same thing. Are you sure you're okay on your own?
Yes.
I don't believe you, but I'm just gonna trust you at this point because I think I might need to run back to the bathroom. Bye.
Oh no.
Where are you spending 8 p.m. to 12 a.m.?
I'm gonna try and figure out where this place's equivalent of the power plant is.
Okay, you'd ask around, you'd be told that it's way, way, way down below.
Is there any way that I can get access?
No, you would remember that Monokuma had given Ian and Magnus a key card to get down to that area, but they had given the key card back to Monokuma. That area is normally off limits. You'd get told that you probably wouldn't be allowed down there as it's very dangerous. There's a lot of machinery down there. And you know what? You'd actually learn something interesting since you're doing all this investigating. You'd learn that down there in particular is where the monobots are made. So all the construction bears, etc., they're all made down there.
Okay. And I guess at some point I would go back to that bathroom to check on Marionette before my with Bud.
She would still be there.
That
Just
sounds
to
about
make sure
right.
she's not dead.
Julian, it is your watch order, so we've got that out of the way. So
Yes.
moving on to 12 a.m. to 4 a.m., Bud and Allison.
I show up still looking a little
Hey,
sick.
party people.
I don't want to party. I think I ate something bad.
Real quick, just to ask for everybody, we are almost done, but how much farther can people go, I guess is the question. Because we can hurry up through these, and then I don't really have too much after that. Is everybody okay for like 15 minutes, for example?
15 minutes is fine with me.
Yeah, if you're good for
Okay.
close, then let's go ahead and make it all the way.
All right, is that okay with you too, David?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the only one that had a time issue.
I think, well, I guess it's the weekend, so, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead. So, Bud and Allison, it's your guys' turns.
Hey, party people, how are you?
I think I ate something awful, and I think that there's a chance that it might be in all the food because I ran into Marionette, and
you had right,
she's
Marinette.
also dying.
Oh no, Marionette's drunk.
You know, I wondered because she
Slow
was also
turn to
gross
David.
sobbing.
What did she drink?
I grabbed the small vial, whatever was
Yup,
I
in
it was-
there.
I immediately grab it. Is the label still on it?
Yeah. I forgot you had labeled them, but yeah.
I mean, I labeled them according to my stuff.
Yeah, she wouldn't have understood it then.
So did she say anything after drinking this?
Oh, a lot. She said a lot.
Like what?
Oh, how she's trying to basically make everyone her puppets, and that she can't
Oh my
trust
God, I
certain
knew it.
people like Allison.
Oh yeah, I knew she was nervous around me, but I got the feeling that she was trying to train Bud to obey.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
yeah, it probably has to do with her mental illness, but you know.
yeah, definitely trying to train Bud. Though she said that it wasn't going as according to her plans because he's not the type of drunk that she thought he was. She also said that Allison, you saw right through her, so she can't really get to you or Crash at the moment. What else? Something about Fantasia kind of undoing some of her work. So, yeah, and then, yeah, those are the major points.
Magnus
Hopefully
pipes
not
up.
with.
It was a lot of fun to watch.
So you said she was in the bathroom, Allison?
Yeah, she was gross sobbing for a little bit.
Hey, Monokuma, can you hear me?
Monokuma will pop up from behind you.
You might want
Yes,
to
did
go
someone call
send
my name?
some medical staff to Marionette. She's gonna have some trouble for a little while.
I know just the bear. And he sort of disappears to take care of that.
So, how potent is that alcohol?
The truth hurts.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I got that. Anyway,
Why did
She
she have
drink
that to
anything
begin with?
else?
like what? What are you hoping to hear?
Just wondering if she drank anything else.
No, she drank that, and then I don't think she wanted to drink anything after that.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine she would.
Because
Why
she,
All
did she
right.
drink it to begin with? Why did she have it?
I couldn't answer either of those questions. I just know that she said that was her first time ever having alcohol.
Oh boy.
I lent a couple things to her earlier. I didn't think she'd drink it though. And I'll start blazingly going through her backpack in front of everybody else.
You're going through her backpack?
Yep, she went through
All
What's
mine.
in
right.
there?
1 second here. Let me pull up. Do. So you find a lot of puppets that have the strings wrapped around them so that the strings don't get tangled. Besides that, you only find 2 other things. You find her monopad because she forgot about it and left it in there. And you find a photo. Do you take the photo out?
Yep.
So on the back of the photo is a sort of description of what it is. But what you can surmise based off the description in the photo itself, it's an old photo of Marionette and her large family. Her 2 mothers flank her on either side, almost forming a barrier between Marionette and the large group surrounding them, consisting of first cousins, second cousins, third cousins twice removed, etc. Marionette's mothers look upset and protective. Marionette herself looks much younger. Wearing a tuxedo, she clutches a pile of puppets. Her entire face is visible, and a large smile spread across her face. Her long hair is much shorter in the picture, perhaps half the length it is now.
And I'll just put all that stuff back as best as I can.
Okay. But that's all she has in her backpack.
Okay. So have we made any progress over here?
Well, so the pod has a very, very large string of bullshittery. Logic arguments, it's like a million sentences long, and that's not an over exaggeration. And basically, what I've been up to most of the time is, how do I phrase this? Spell checking, if that makes sense, to make sure that there wasn't some sort of key error or mistype or misstroke. Um, Nothing that I've really seen. Besides that, I've just been trying to sort of streamline everything to see if that helps it run better. I don't have time to look at the other pods, so I can't see how those things are. And unfortunately, once I switch this thing into diagnostic mode, he points towards the pod, I can't switch it back until I'm done because it has to upload the changes or I lose all of them. And the uploading, unfortunately, takes a little bit. I don't know exactly how long. Um, but yeah, that's basically where I'm at right now.
I can try looking at the other pod if you tell me where to look.
But no, you'd have to have it plugged in with a cord, and yeah, there's no way. I think I'm making progress. We'll see. Hold your breath.
Do you think there's any way to force it open if we have to?
If you did, it would kill her. You might as well just shut the pod down.
So there's no way to force it to think time is up, like all our pods seemingly opened.
No, and for some reason I can't figure out why. I'm using the wrong voice. It's been a long day. But yeah, he tells you no for some reason, and I can't figure out why. I don't know why the timing is different with this pod as to the other ones.
Hmm. Well, that's just
Magnus
great.
Magnus will sort of set his monopad down and he'll stand up to stretch. And as he stretches, you hear some bones crack.
Ow.
He walks over to the pod and he sort of gazes inside for a minute. And he sort of walks around to take a little bit of a break. A couple minutes. What are the rest of you doing?
Hey, Magnus, did you see anything weird in the power plant area?
He will give you a brief description of everything that he and Ian encountered.
That.
Well, I guess at least she looks peaceful in there.
Yeah.
And any of you have anything you wanted to do?
I'll walk around and fuck with everybody's lockers, closing them, opening them, locking
Okay.
them, unlocking them.
Okay. You walk around. Choharu's locker is closed already. Juliet's locker is closed already. Which one in particular, I guess, do you start with and try to
Gonna
open?
go around to a few different ones. I'll open and close marionettes.
Yep, you type her talent in, it pops open.
I'll close and open Magnus's,
Yep, you type his talent in and it pops open.
Ian's.
Same thing.
I go over to the butterfly girl, Choharu's. So what do you think her talent is?
Magnus will shrug.
Looks over at the other two.
Hard to say. I mean, it's not like you can easily just look at a person and know exactly what their talent is.
Maybe you should try it, Magnus jokes.
Little does he know, that's exactly what I'm trying to do.
Are you going over and looking?
Yeah.
All right, finally. As you look into the pod, something happens.
What?
Oh, God.
Let me actually... A few moments go by and a loud ding is heard overhead.
Ding, presser done.
You look in the pod and nothing looks off, but as you gaze in, a loud ding is heard overhead. It reverberates throughout the entire Habidome, in fact, and it's Monokuma's voice. Attention students! Attention students! A body has been discovered. If everyone could make your way to the sleeper cell pod room at your earliest convenience.
What do I see in the pod?
It looks basically normal. Nothing really looks too out of place. Magnus will look upwards, seeming visibly confused. What the hell does he mean a body's been discovered?
I'll turn to the pod.
Yeah, does it look like she's still breathing in there? Because we could see bubbles before, right?
Nope, no bubbles.
I'm gonna visibly pale and go, Magnus, what did you do?
I didn't do anything!
She's not
And,
breathing!
I know! Magnus will start panicking. I can open it, but it'll kill her.
She's already dead!
All right,
Hold
so...
on. Let's wait till everyone gets here before we open it.
Fuck that! I'm gonna try to immediately rip the thing open.
No, you're
No,
gonna
no,
destroy
no.
evidence! I'm gonna tackle Bud.
I'm going to help.
All right. Both of you roll a d100. Bud, roll 3 d100s and take the highest, as Bud is a very beefy boy. God damn, how?
That's beefy.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
He wins.
Yeah, the two of you try, but the two of you cannot. He's basically just walking forward with the two of you hanging on him.
It's a bad idea. I don't want to get too loud because the neighbors are sleeping, but I'd be
Yeah.
more frantic.
Bud, you're trying to rip the pot off. You can roll for it, but there's nothing to hold on to even rip it. So if you want, you'll be rolling 5 dice and taking the lowest, but I'll
That's
let
fine.
you, and it'll be a really high DC, but it's possible, I guess.
5 nat 100s. 5 nat 100s.
I would just let you win the game at that point. 9, no,
Nine.
not gonna do it.
Yeah. I'm still trying.
That's fine. You can't seem to
Bud's
find.
under the impression that who knows, there might still be a chance to save her.
Yeah, like CPR or something. Time is of the essence.
Mm-hmm.
Magnus is panicking and tapping on his mono pad. Eventually everybody starts rushing downwards. Magnus, once everybody arrives, he presses a button as a last-ditch effort. He's opening the pod. You hear the sound of the pod draining. The pod drains, followed by a click. Magnus curses. At this point, Bud, you can get a grip on the pod door as it sort of pops open a tiny bit. I assume you open it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where we're gonna leave it. That's pretty much all I've got. So that's the point I wanted to make it to, is discovering the body. So
Okay, then.
how does everybody feel?
We have our first body.
Yep.
We do. Yes,
And now we have to find the murderer.
Initial guesses.
Allison.
Why?
Bye-bye.
He was right there when it happened.
I
Dude.
found the body.
Seems really suspicious to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Every-
clearly Magnus is being set up here.
Yeah.
Allison.
I see.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, accidents happen.
Exactly. We don't know that shit for sure.
I have a feeling that this happened before we started these shifts.
Da, da, da.
Ta-da!
Da.
I have a couple,
All right.
couple ideas of who it probably isn't, but yeah, we'll have to see next time what happens.
Yeah, it's probably not Allison. It's probably not Julian. You went off with Nick somewhere, so I don't fucking know about you.
No, I have a very good reason, though it didn't play out as how I wanted it to.
Yeah, sure. She fucking died because of it, man.
No.
Why did I have to be
He's
the one
trying to
find the
go
body?
after that secret ending. Remember, there's a secret ending.
You have a knack for finding bodies.
And he
You
had a
know, I
tarp
thought
earlier.
it was weird. I couldn't sense anything out of the pod.
And he had a
What?
tarp earlier.
Which is weird because last time I checked, which was a while ago, there was still life.
Yeah, that was days ago, though.
Oh.
I-
No,
killed-
he walked in during the beginning, and I assume probably would have looked inside as he was messing around with things.
Mm.
Or not. Either way.
Y'all a bunch of murderers.
Y'all a bunch of murderers.
There you go,
but-
Nick. I prompted someone to look in there for you.
I hope you guys enjoy what's coming next. It'll be obviously looking around at the evidence, etc., etc., etc.
And mostly pointing fingers.
Yeah, mostly pointing fingers, and then the trial, which will also be mostly pointing fingers.
Yeah. Yeah, that tends to do it.
But I hope you guys had fun this session, anyways.
Oh, yeah.
But
Absolutely.
that's all I've got, so.
All right, then. Well, chat, thank you for joining. I hope you all had fun. We will be back next weekend with some more Tyranny of Dragons, where who knows what that party's going to do, after killing a Draco Hydra. That was fun.
Oh, my sword is ready for more.
So we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.